They're competitive on the defensive side of things. They got a good team and they play the right way. So, I mean, we'll have to do the same thing. And I feel like, you know, we've got some injuries, obviously, that we're dealing with too. So it's just nature of the business and a condensed schedule. You just got to go out and give it your all. And I feel like we're in a position to go out tonight and play really well and try to win a hockey game.
Jared Bednar, the coach of the Avs, talking about the Penguins. He's impressed, as is everyone around the National Hockey League, including Pierre Maguire. And Pierre, you're up there doing what you always do. You're watching hockey games. How many TVs do you have? Or how do you do it? Do you watch a lot of games at once?
I got a few. I watch a lot of games, Paul, and you know that at every level. And, you know, it's funny. I'm listening to Jared Bednar talk about Pittsburgh, and he couldn't be more correct. You know, we talked about this probably after the third or fourth week of the season when we were just starting out with this show. And one of the things that was really apparent is Pittsburgh wasn't going away anytime soon. They were well coached. They played the game properly, and the players were buying in. They were a captive audience. They had missed the playoff 3 straight years before, had a captive audience, and a lot of young guys were getting opportunities to play in the NHL, and they took advantage of them.
They certainly did. Now, tonight, the action is interesting because, you know, Detroit is in danger, I think, of maybe slipping out of the playoff picture because of injuries, but they're doing a good job tonight. They're leading the Flames 4-2, and Patrick Kane has a pair of goals in that game.
Second in front, and they score. Set up beautifully for Frost going to the goal. This lead pass for Kane. He's in the clear. Scores! And Patrick Kane has just passed Joe Mullen in the tie they were in for fourth all alone for U.S.-born goal scorers.
And he's fired up. He looks at his goaltender at the far end and said, let's go. And let's see what happens here as they negate the icing. And Calgary's all in on the forecheck. They think they have the advantage, but as they exit the zone, here's the negated icing. So Calgary does.
Kane plays one to Concord and DeBrincat. Ball cut him off. DeBrincat has it again, though. Looks in for Kane. He scores! Patrick Kane hits 3-1.
Well, it's interesting. The Boston Bruins, if they win that game, will have 82 points, same as the Montreal Canadiens. I think the Canadiens will remain in third place in the Atlantic Division, despite the fact that they're tied with 82 points. You've got Columbus breathing down people's necks, as well as, Pierre, the Ottawa Senators. And I want to talk about them because they look like a team that's kind of a dark horse to me. What do you think?
Oh, they're playing fantastic hockey right now, and they're doing it without Jake Sanderson, who's their best defenseman and probably their best overall player. They've got star power in Timmy Stützle, Drake Batherson, and obviously Brady Tkachuk, who everybody remembers from the Olympics. But the biggest thing they have going right now is Thomas Chabot, and I worked there 4 years ago. Tommy was just starting to become a star. Tommy is really playing like a star right now, and that's made a big difference because of the injury to Jake Sanderson that happened in Vancouver about 10 days ago. I'm going to say that Sanderson's going to be out for a good while longer, a lot like what Crosby had to face with the Penguins, and that's bad news. But for Ottawa, they're playing a really tight checking game. And, Paul, I know you did a lot of his games when Travis Green played for the New York Islanders. He's coaching like the old Al Arbor used to coach, and he's utilizing checking lines. And I remember one checking line of Brian Mullen, Brad Delgarno, and Travis Green. And you were calling those games with the legendary Mike Lang. And I'll tell you what, he's got a group led by Shane Pinto and Michael Amadio and sometimes Claude Giroux that plays just like that, and they're tough to play against.
They are, and they always play well against the Penguins, and unfortunately they're one of the 7 teams that plays the Penguins over the next 7 games, 2 against the Avs, 2 against Carolina, 1 against Dallas, and 1 against the Senators, and another one against Winnipeg. That's a tough schedule coming up for the Pittsburgh Penguins. But, hey, the way I look at it is they have to play the Penguins. 16 games left, a possible 32 points for the Penguins. They've been playing 6-14 hockey. At this pace, they would get 100 points, and if they play 500 hockey, they'd have 97 points. What's it going to take to get in this year, do you think, Pierre?
I think 94 to 96 gets you in. It could slide a little bit lower to 93, but I don't think so. The biggest thing for Pittsburgh is just take care of business. You know, they've got 3 out of the first 6 points on this road trip a win tonight would be massive. And you heard Jared Bednar talk about some of the injuries they're dealing with. No Ross Colton, no Arturi Laakkonen, no Gabriel Landeskog. They're probably going to play 7D. Blankenberg's going to go in, a kid who played at University of Michigan. He's a very mobile, smaller defenseman. But the truth is that they do have some injuries, and it's going to be interesting to see how they play in Colorado. I marvel at what Pittsburgh's been able to do. And if they ever stole a game tonight, that would be massive for the Pittsburgh Penguins going into the last game of the road trip in Carolina.
Well, if Ottawa's going to get in, Pierre, somebody's got to fall out. Who's it going to be? I mean, Detroit is showing a lot of character tonight. They were down in that game, and they came back, and they lead 4-2 last we looked. But somebody's got to slip out of there for those two teams. One of those two teams, or both, Columbus and Ottawa, to get in, right?
Yeah, no, that's true. Boston worries me a bit. Boston's getting outshot pretty handily tonight by New Jersey. I know the score is 3-3, but Boston's getting beat by a non-playoff team in New Jersey. So that's one team. And I don't know about the Islanders. I know, the Matthew Schaefer stuff, and it should be, this should be an amazing story around the hockey world. This kid is absolutely spectacular. But the truth of the matter is I just don't know how deep they are going forward. And we'll see. If Montreal ever got a major injury to either Suzuki or Cole Caulfield or to Lane Hudson, if they lost one of those three guys or two of them, they would be in big, big, big trouble. So there's still some racetrack to cover for them to stay healthy. But it's hard to say who's going to drop out. But I'd be worried about Boston right now. They play in Montreal tomorrow night, and I'd be worried a little bit about the Islanders.
Well, Pierre, I know some people are saying the Penguins aren't going to make it. TJ Oshie, Tony Granato.
Well, I respectfully don't agree with those people. And I know that I was going on shows in Montreal telling them stop dreaming about getting Sidney Crosby in Montreal because he's not coming here. He's staying in Pittsburgh. So, I mean, I'm glad that hasn't worked out and he has stayed in Pittsburgh. Sidney Crosby's an iconic figure. He's a Pittsburgh Penguin. He's the Mario Lemieux of his generation. And, I took a lot of slings and arrows for a long time, stepping up and defending, and said, but you know what? I'm really proud that I did because he's that special a kid and he's that special a player.
Well, as we close out, I want to throw something at you here. The Penguins are playing Carolina Wednesday night. They play at Columbus the night before. You always got to look at what the other teams are doing before you play them, and so maybe the Penguins have a break there from the schedule maker, but unfortunately, they play Winnipeg Saturday, and then they play Carolina Sunday, and Carolina has Saturday off. So things have a way of evening out. That's the way it works.
You've been around long enough, Paul. You know how it works. And by the way, I can't wait to get to Pittsburgh on Sunday. I'll be broadcasting the ECAC Frozen Four for the men up in Lake Placid. I was there for the women 2 weeks ago. I'll be there for the men this coming weekend, and really looking forward to that. And then getting to Pittsburgh for Mario's fantasy camp on Sunday. Can't wait to see you, my friend.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing you, Pierre. Thanks for taking all the time tonight. We got extra time because of a late face-off, so it was a great opportunity to have a long conversation with you. We appreciate it, and we'll talk to you before the next game.
I can't wait, Paul. Thanks a lot. Talk to you before the Carolina game. Take care, everybody.
All right, that's Pierre Maguire. We'll be back with Muse's Musings in a moment on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Hey, this is Conan O'Brien. Check out my channel, Conan O'Brien Radio, on SiriusXM 104. You'll find my delightful Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend podcast, highlights from my late-night shows, showcasing some of the most absurd and hilarious moments from my decades on television.
Come on, everyone, settle down. This is a serious TV show.
Plus, dive deep into 28 years of late-night memories and behind the scenes with Conan O'Brien Radio, only on SiriusXM Channel 104. Or listen with the SiriusXM app.
NHL Morning Skate.
What's the big difference been for the New York Islanders this season?
Matthew Schaefer. Here's Schaefer now passes Phil Housley for the most goals scored by an 18-year-old defenseman. The only other comparable I have right now, and I'm not saying he's going to have the Bobby Orr career, but it's got a great future ahead of him, is Bobby Orr to Matthew Schaefer.
NHL Morning Skate. Weekdays at 7 a.m. Eastern with Gord Stellick and Scott Laughlin. NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
Feel the pulse-pounding drama of the UEFA Champions League knockout stage on Sirius XM FC. The stakes are raised as Europe's elite
Real Madrid do what they do best.
A 5-star show from Manchester City.
What a start for Inter! Battle in a quest for club soccer's ultimate prize.
This is the place where dreams come true.
This is where legends are made. The Champions League knockout stage on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM. The best hockey lives here.
Burns gets it back, stick handles to the backhand, moves in front, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
The Pittsburgh Penguins are brought to you by our founding partners, your neighborhood Ford store. Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs are the official vehicles of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Now it's time for Muse's Musings.
The Avs have lost 12 hockey games. That's how many games the Bruins lost in an entire season in 22-23, a record-making season. 65 wins that year. The Avs have 44 wins so far, and this is game number 66 for Colorado. They have one regulation loss in their first 26, two regulation losses in their first 40, and now they've had 10 since, including 2 in their last 3. Here's Dan Muse on the Avs.
The pace that they play the game with, whether it's coming out of the zone, in transition, and then obviously they also, I think, equally dangerous once they get in zone. And so, I think it's for us, the focus, as it has been all year, needs to be on us. I think you need to make sure you know who you're out there against. I think we need to, I think for our game, when we're playing the game we want to, just making it hard, taking away time and space, helping to take away that speed, and then when we have the puck, keeping the puck.
Yeah, keeping the puck. That's always a big part of it. And, of course, the Penguins, I think, in the 2 games that they've played on this trip out west, the Vegas game and the Utah game, for a while the Penguins were turning pucks over, kind of in the neutral zone. It feels to me like they were kind of giving the puck up just outside, or not necessarily inside their own blue line, just outside of it as they got to the neutral zone. So they were having trouble there, allowing teams to come back at them. So it's going to be really important for the Penguins tonight to make sure they get the puck out when they have an opportunity, get it deep when they have an opportunity, do not turn it over. You give this team a chance to come back at you for free, and they will really burn you with the likes of Cale Makar back there on the blue line. And you heard about that Blankenberg kid that's going to be in the lineup. He's a little guy who can fly, too. Interestingly, the Avs are noted as a high-scoring team, which they should be. They've scored 247 goals, most in the NHL, so they average 3.75 goals per game. But guess what? They also have the best defensive number. Their goals against average is 2.40. That's best in the NHL. So they are really something special, and I want to check real quick if I can find the number. I can't find it right now. I'll give it to you later. But the number on the goal differential is very high for the Avs. I just don't have it handy, but it's definitely the best in the league. So they're a pretty amazing team this year. But again, I mean, they could still be surpassed by the Dallas Stars, who they play next. And they want to hold off the Stars because in the first round, if they get to the top of that division, which is a great division, the Central, they would play Seattle, the wild card team, and not Minnesota. So whoever finishes second has to play the Minnesota Wild in the first round. The Avs would like to avoid that, so who knows? Maybe they're overlooking the Penguins a little bit tonight, looking ahead to that game against the Dallas Stars at home on Wednesday. We will return with more in a moment on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Spotting the perfect fit is kind of your thing. So when it comes to finding a used car, start your search at FordBlueAdvantage.com and find the perfect certified pre-owned vehicle at your local Ford dealer. One that comes with serious perks, like a thorough inspection, a Ford-backed warranty, even a Carfax report. Because you know what they say, the best finds are the ones that feel made for you. Ford Blue Advantage. Used car buying that's built for you. Available at participating dealers only. See your dealer for details and limitations.
Dust off your boots. Country Night is coming to PPG Paints Arena on March 28th. The Penguins take on the Dallas Stars for a night of hockey with a country twist. Enjoy live music before the game, and with the special ticket package, you can score an exclusive Penguins cowboy hat.
and a centering pass. Raquel Rister, they score! A goal on a delayed penalty for the Penguins.
It's hats, hockey, and a whole lot of fun at the party on Fifth Ave. Don't miss Country Night on March 28th. Get your tickets now at PittsburghPenguins.com.
When businesses need solutions and everyday life needs support, there's one place that does it all. I Ship and Pack, proudly serving the Pittsburgh area. From packing and shipping to professional printing, embroidery, and essential business services and apparel, I Ship and Pack does it all. Their trained experts save you time and money, providing superstar customer care on every visit. In need of reliable service? Choose the experts. I Ship and Pack. 5829 Forward Avenue, Pittsburgh. Let the experts handle the rest.
Take a break and come out with us tonight.
Not tonight, man.
Come on. You deserve a night out. You're going to miss out.
Miss out on what?
While you stayed home, they won big. They celebrated. They got the suite, stayed up all night, and made memories. And you weren't there. Some nights are too good to sit out. Rivers Casino. Don't miss the moment.
This is the Pittsburgh Penguins Hockey Network. This copyrighted broadcast is the property of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Any rebroadcast or reproduction of all or part of this broadcast, or any descriptions or accounts of this game therein without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Penguins is strictly prohibited.
Captain of the Montreal Canadiens, Nick Suzuki, and we're joined with Sidney Crosby. Boko Imama. Campus forward, Brad Marchand, joined now by Jackie Redmond.
Time for 2 minutes with the old 2-Niner. Brought to you by your Pittsburgh area Lexus dealers. Experience amazing.
Well, welcome to the old 2-Niner, Pens and Avalanche. Tonight we're joined now by Penguins forward, Justin Brazeau. And Braz, I know you were only out for a short time, 4 games, but does it give you a perspective on this team and just how unique and how special it is? And well, just to put it bluntly, how hard they battle to get points and where the position you are in the standings right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of fun to watch. I think no matter who's in our lineup, no matter who's slotted where, I think everybody kind of shows up and just puts their work boots on and go to work, and we just try to make it as tough as we can on other teams, and it's a lot of fun to watch.
I can imagine, again, you weren't out for a long time, but still, when you get back in the lineup like you're going to be here tonight, you want to get those first couple shifts, get your feet underneath you. But also, do you feel the urgency of, I don't think any of us have that kind of time to wait for a whole period to go by to get back into the swing of things?
Yeah, I think it's definitely important, my first couple to kind of get ready, make sure I'm getting involved, whether that's physically or making plays with pucks and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think, like you said, the faster I can get into it, the better off for me.
Do you feel a little bit of a different buzz here from the morning skate, knowing that Gino's going to be back, yourself's going to be back, knowing that you've been able to tread some water without you guys in the lineup?
Yeah, I mean, obviously getting Gino back's a pretty big boost for our lineup. But yeah, I think it's just excitement. I think, we're both of us are excited to get back and help this team try to win some more games.
You have to admit, the Colorado Avalanche are a unique team. I think it's a fair word with the kind of talent they have. Is there anything just on the front of your brain going into this? And I've talked to other players before, and they're like, yeah, Borky, it's more about us playing our game. Are you into that mentality of I know it's a unique team, but I have to think of it as just another team?
Yeah, I mean, I think if anytime you kind of hold a team up like that, I think you can kind of shy away and get away from your game. I think, we're a team that when we're playing at our best, we frustrate other teams. We've played some, obviously high-end skill, fast teams this year and been able to get to our game. So I think, obviously, they're a really good team. They're going to try to get, establish their game early, but I think it's just on us to make sure we're doing that, working away from the puck, making sure we're making it hard and taking time and space away because, they have so many skill players. It's going to happen. They're going to make some plays. I think it's just limiting the amount that we give them and making sure we do a good job going the other way.
Russ, thanks for this. All the best. Go get the Avs.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, that's Justin Brazeau. And your 2 minutes with the old 2-Niner. Enjoy the hockey game.
The Pittsburgh Penguins are brought to you by our founding partners, Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Because life. Now it is time for the Highmark Injury Update.
Well, Blake Lizotte is on the shelf now. I hate to hear that. I don't know about you, but he is kind of the Penguins' most invaluable player, if you will. Just a guy you can't replace, a guy who plays a certain way and is sort of personified, I think, the way the Penguins have played as a team. Dan Muse has made great use of his fourth line all year. And, the one game that he didn't play, or the last game that he didn't play for the Penguins, was that game in Buffalo, which the Penguins did win 5-2 right before the Olympic break. But the Penguins are 2-6-3 without him in the lineup. That's significant. So they have to get the most they can out of Connor Dewar tonight. He'll be moved over to play in the middle. And just anxious to see how things unfold for the Penguins. I think Soderblom will be on the fourth line along with Noel Acciari. So that's what the Penguins will have going for them tonight. The Avs, as we said, will go with 7D and 11 forwards. The Penguins still without Sidney Crosby, and they're 4-3-3 without him so far in the 10 games. And now the big test against his buddy Nathan MacKinnon and the Colorado Avalanche. Sam Girard is also out of the lineup. He's missed 3. This will be his 4th game missed. He would love to have played against the Avs. Not going to happen. Kevin Hayes is out. Philip Hollander also on the shelf. And for the Avs, Ross Colton, Gabriel Landeskog is out of the lineup. Arturi Lehkonen, an important player for them, and Logan O'Connor also out of the lineup. As for the lottery tonight, the drawing's coming up in a little more than an hour. And the jackpot for the Powerball is $88 million. You must be 18 or older to play. Please play responsibly. You can play online or at your local retailer. The PA Lottery benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. Joe Brand gave us that differential. Thank you, Joe. He texted it to me. I couldn't find it. The one sheet of paper was stuck to another one. I'm looking around. I thought for sure it just disappeared. But then it reappeared. Anyway, it's a plus 84. That's what the Avs are. That's the kind of year they've had. That's always a telling number. But they're not the same team lately that they were at the beginning of the year. Maybe the Penguins can take advantage of that. Joe Brand and Michelle Crecchiolo have the call for you coming up from Denver, Colorado on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
It's hockey night in Pittsburgh, starring a lineup of Ford MVPs here to take on the ice.
The Bronco family and Explorer putting a twist on the classics. And the Mach-E, can I just say, it's electrifying.
Absolutely. Blink and you'll miss the Ford Mustang.
And the Ready for Anything F-Series, best-selling trucks in Pittsburgh.
Wow, I'd hate to go up against this team.
Ford, the official car, truck, and SUV of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Dear team, thanks for showing up for me with the best face paint and taunting the other team in the kindest way. For standing on your seat when I need the support and screaming until your throat hurts because you know it makes a difference. For wearing my number. For being the best teammates a player could ask for. At Highmark, we're proud to be cheering alongside the best teammates. Fans like you. Because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Official health plan of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Glassmere Fuel Service is hiring CDL fuel delivery drivers. We're building our starting lineup in Altoona first, plus Latrobe and Tarentum. If you're a CDL driver ready to make big plays, apply today at glassmerefuel.com. Glassmere Fuel Service. We are fuel.
It takes all of us to take action and bring awareness to create a better community and environment. Penguins Pledge brings together key Penguins business partners with a common goal to create a more environmentally conscious community. Together with our Pledge Impact partners, Davey Tree, Excelitas, Duquesne Light Company, and WM, Penguins Pledge is a commitment to a better and more sustainable Pittsburgh. Learn more at pittsburghpenguins.com/Penguins Pledge.
No matter the occasion, there's always a reason to celebrate with a DQ ice cream cake. Creamy DQ soft serve and the chocolatey crunch center is great at any get-together. Customize yours today at DQ.com. DQ is the official ice cream and ice cream cake of the Penguins.
It's a hockey night in Pittsburgh.
Crosby centering past Malkin, trying to get a couple jabs at it. Crosby, backhanded pass, front score from Sidney Crosby.
Oh, get in the fast lane, Grandma. The bingo game is ready to roll.
The Pittsburgh Penguins Radio Network proudly presents Penguins Hockey. The Penguins Radio Network is presented by S&T Bank and brought to you in part by Number One Cochrane, Go One Better, by IC Light, by McDonald's, providing you the official burger of the Pittsburgh Penguins, by Get Go Cafe and Market, Get Go, where the Pens go, by Coca-Cola, founding partner of the Pittsburgh Penguins, by Clearview Federal Credit Union, helping people enjoy a better life, and by Indra Energy, an official Penguins Pledge champion partner. Penguins Hockey on the Radio begins now.
Game number 67 on the season, and the Pittsburgh Penguins take on a team that they haven't seen all year long. And guess what? It's the best team in the NHL. But tonight the Penguins get one of their best players back, as Evgeny Malkin hopes to fuel a 2-point party here in Denver against the Colorado Avalanche. Welcome in, Penguins fans, and welcome to Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado. Alongside Michelle Crecchiolo, I'm Joe Brand. It's Game 4 of a 5-game road trip. And, Mish, this is a tough matchup for the Penguins, to say the least. But getting back number 71 helps in so many ways for this team.
Oh, so many ways. I mean, he is just such a big personality, such a big-time player. Hall of Famer, you know, having a terrific season at 39 years old. I mean, it's just been... spectacular is the word that Kyle Dubas said, describing the way that he's played. So as Brian Russ said, G's coming out of prison. He's going to be awesome. He's been so good for them. But I think, you know, the key, Joe, you know, to continue the work ethic and having guys just continuing to elevate their own games. Because as Russ was saying, like sometimes, you know, when you get guys back who are so good and can provide so much, and sometimes you can take a breath. And when it needs to be the opposite, like you got to play even harder and even better. So that's something they have to be mindful of. But, you know, Evgeny Malkin's been playing with a lot of motivation this season. He wants to help the Penguins get back to the playoffs. He wants to play another year. He said, like, he wants to show his best game and be back here playing for the black and gold. So, and, you know, I feel like he's feeling, you know, he let his team down a bit with, you know, his sort of outburst against the Sabres. And so he wants to come back and, you know, sort of make up for it and be better and just, you know, help his team through a really difficult stretch of games, like you said, against the best team in the NHL. So I'm looking forward to what we're going to see from Evgeny Malkin here tonight.
Yeah, Malkin returning to the lineup puts him back on the line with Igor Chinikov and Tommy Novak. We're going to get right into our starting lineups presented by Clearview Federal Credit Union. Because of all the shuffling that Dan Muse has to do, Anthony Mantha is now up with Ricard Raquel and Brian Russ. Not really a surprise there. Mantha's been hot as of late. 4-game point streak with 6 points during that stretch. The Malkin line, as I mentioned earlier, Ville Koivunen is with Ben Kindle and Justin Brazeau, who returns for the first time after missing his last 4 games. So Elmer Soderblom is on the 4th line as Blake Lizotte is unavailable for tonight's game. So Soderblom replaces Lizotte as Connor Dewar moves over to center on that line with Nola Chari. Your defensive pairs stay the same: Parker Wotherspoon, Erik Karlsson, Ryan Shea, and Chris Letang. However, the former Colorado Avalanche, Ilya Solovyov, takes on his former team, paired up with Connor Clifton tonight. Artur Shilov's in net. All right, let's talk about the Colorado Avalanche, because the Penguins haven't seen them yet this year, but there really aren't too many secrets about this team, the top team in the NHL right now.
They are just a wagon. I mean, you look at what they lead the NHL in: points, wins, regulation wins, points percentage, goal differential, goals per game, goals against per game. I mean, we can go up and down the list. It's crazy to see. I mean, especially after winning that Stanley Cup in 2022, it seems like, you know, they've just found another level. They got Nazem Kadri at the deadline, and, you know, Cal McCarr said he feels like that's a player who has so much swagger and someone who can just really take them to even another level. So they made some, you know, really strong moves at the deadline. So it's a difficult team to play, but I feel like it's exciting. And Dan Muse said it's an easy game to get up for, obviously, with what they've been doing all year. And so I think they're looking forward to the challenge, and it really is something that they can embrace. And you know, Phil Bourque mentioned it in his chat with Brazeau, and I feel like you and I can attest to it. It did feel like there was a buzz around the room, and especially with these Penguins. I mean, they have flipped the script all season long. They've surprised so many people outside of that dressing room and have gotten themselves in a position where they're battling to make the playoffs. And so I think, you know, this is just another game where it's like, you know what, you guys are writing us off. We don't have Sidney Crosby. Like, we'll show you what we're made of. So, you know, it's obviously, there's a lot that they need to do to have success against this team. You know, Dan Muse said their speed's number one when it comes to Colorado, and that they have to find a way to manage that, know who they're going up against, but they just got to make it hard, take away time and space, play that relentless style that's their identity, where they're just all over you. So I'm excited to see how the Penguins, you know, the way they've built all year, do against the best team in the NHL for the first time this season.
Yeah, we've seen them perform well on highly anticipated matchups. The game that comes to mind is the one in Tampa that the Penguins were able to beat the Lightning. Granted, they got some help with the hand pass in that call, but still grabbed the lead, held on to it for the majority of the game, Evgeny Malkin had a big game in that matchup as well, and even before the suspension, there were a lot of moments where Malkin was kind of carrying the team, finding an extra surge with Sidney Crosby being out, and we know that that's kind of been the recipe for some of his success with 87 being out in both of their careers. As good as Colorado is, and they're very, very good, let's just throw out a couple more statistics that shows them how immense they are this year. They have 3 30 goal scorers this year. McKinnon with 44. That leads the NHL. Marty Necas has a career high already with 31. And Brock Nelson, who came over here last year from the New York Islanders, has 30. As you mentioned, Colorado with an 84 positive goal differential, outscoring their opponents 25 goals in the first period, 28 in the second period, 35 in the third period. So they just get better as the game goes along. But here's where maybe they have some kryptonite. A 16.1% power play. That's 29th in the NHL, and they've given up the most shorthanded goals in the NHL with 12 this year. I bring that up because the Penguins' special teams has improved over the past couple of games. They're now 4th in the NHL with their power play at 25%. They've got the second best penalty kill and the best penalty kill on the road. And I feel like that's fared pretty well on this road trip. That could be a motivating factor for them here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you got to find those chinks in the armor, so to speak, and that's absolutely one of them for the Colorado Avalanche. They don't have many, but it's one. And I think you've seen this unit. Obviously, you don't have Blake Lizotte, but Connor Dewar. I mean, especially as of late, he's had some terrific shorthanded chances. Brian Rust-Molchar. It feels like this group, they take care of business in their own end, but they're also creating at the other end, which is incredible to watch because that's so rare. A lot of times you just see teams get hemmed in and not able to create a whole lot, but I feel like they're just on the same page.
Lucky winners to Reno for an awesome 3-day, 2-night getaway in our 10.
Lizotte, but Connor Dewar, I mean, especially as of late, he's had some terrific shorthanded chances. Brian Rust-Molchar. It feels like this group, they take care of business in their own end, but they're also creating at the other end, which is incredible to watch because that's so rare. A lot of times you just see teams get hemmed in and not able to create a whole lot, but I feel like they're just on the same page for all 200 feet of the ice. And it's a credit to Mike Stothers and Nick Bonino, the assistant coach.
Kiolo. We'll have Puck Drop for you next. It's the Pens and the Avalanche here from Colorado. It's all here on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Hey, Pittsburgh fans, this is Phil Bourque. In hockey, big goals cause big momentum shifts. As we all know, our Penguins have scored a lot of big goals. As a founding partner of the Penguins, PPG also likes big goals and is pursuing them off the ice to better the Pittsburgh community and the world. Together with the Penguins, PPG increases access to free STEM education through the annual Science at Play and Sticks and STEM events at PPG Paints Arena. We like big goals because when we score them, we all win.
Parents, looking for something fresh this spring? If your child loves sports or needs a fun challenge, Little Penguins Learn to Play Hockey is the perfect fit. It's for beginners ages 5 to 9 at ice rinks across Western PA. They'll learn teamwork, make friends, build confidence, and equipment is included. Spring sessions start soon and spots fill fast. Sign up now at nhl.com/penguins/learn to play. Let's go, Pens.
In Pittsburgh, champions aren't just born, they're built. And NSS Life has been part of that winning legacy for decades.
We've stood with the city's champions on and off the field,
building futures that are strong, secure, and built to last.
NSS Life is proud to be part of Pittsburgh's past and your future.
NSS Life, the official life insurance company of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
NSS Life, where family matters.
We're just about all set for hockey here at the Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado, as the Pittsburgh Penguins play in game number 4 of this 5-game road trip. And it's their first matchup of the year against the Colorado Avalanche. How's it going, Penguins fans? Alongside Michelle Crecchiolo, I'm Joe Brand. We're just delighted to have you here with us for another edition of Pittsburgh Penguins hockey. Penguins come into this game 33, 18, and 15.
81 points on the season, has them tied for second in the Metropolitan Division with the New York Islanders. Ahead of them, thanks to a winning percentage, however. And the Colorado Avalanche are behind no one in the NHL standings overall. 44, 12, and 9 with 97 points. We mentioned it earlier, a goal differential of plus 84. Now the Penguins and Avalanche still have to play both their games this season. The Penguins will be hosting Colorado later on this month. The Penguins are attacking from left to right in their road white sweaters with Arthur Shelovs in net. The Colorado Avalanche are actually the Quebec Nordiques, and wearing their retro uniforms, attacking from right to left in blue. Nathan MacKinnon wins the opening draw, and we're underway here in Denver. Opening faceoff is brought to you by number 1 Cochrane Club One Rewards. Earn points and save money with every dollar spent on service. The Avalanche drop it down to the far corner. Cal McCarr races after it, but gets crunched into the boards by Ricard Raquel. Spun over to the near side. Penguins look to work it out of their end. They get it ahead to Anthony Mantha, who cruises over the Avs line. Goes for a backhanded centering pass. Marty Necas quickly will flip it all the way down to the Penguins' end. That'll be icing by Colorado. No score early on here in Denver. Not even a minute into this hockey game.
Already seeing that speed by Cal McCarr, the way he was first in on that puck. I mean, he's just so dynamic, so fast. 1 goal away from 20, Joe, as a defenseman for the 3rd season in a row. I mean, just an unbelievable talent.
Big year for him in 2022. Won the Stanley Cup with this Colorado Avalanche team, the Norris Trophy, the Conn Smythe. Now Nathan MacKinnon will take the draw to the right. Scott Wedgwood, the goaltender for the Colorado Avalanche, fight for the puck along the far wall. Chinakhov will send it low. Tommy Novak races after it, and here comes Evgeny Malkin. Sweeping the puck in the near corner, sends it to Chinakhov in the near circle, course towards the slot, tries to send a centering pass, but got taken out. Did Devon Taves, and the Penguins are going to be short-handed here. And is it Malkin going to the box?
It is. He's going right back into gel there. He was trying to receive that pass from Igor Chinakhov. They've had so much chemistry, and that shift got off to a good start, but he just took out Taves' skate, and the ref's arm went up immediately.
Kind of chopped Taves on the left skate, sent number 7 in blue down, and the Penguins are short-handed. Not even a minute into this game. They quickly win the draw, though, in their own end and clear it down. Penguins with the 2nd best penalty kill in the NHL, the top PK on the road in the NHL. Colorado with just 2 power play goals in their last 4 games, 4 for 13. Now with speed, it's McDavid in the Penguin zone, sweeps it back to Kadri. They'll flip it up to the point. Necas to McCarr above the near circle, drops it down to the corner. MacKinnon tried to play it off the wall, but Shea got there first. He'll wheel it along the boards and down into Colorado's end. Another good clear for the Penguins with 30 seconds shaved off on their penalty kill. Penguins coming off a comeback win against Utah Saturday night against the Mammoth. They'll wrap up this road trip in 2 nights in Carolina. Colorado's back in the Penguin zone, but quickly Brian Russ pokes the puck out into Colorado's end far corner. Wedgwood will play it. We're down to the final minute of the Penguins PK. Ben Kindle hunting after the puck against Necas, lost for a moment, but then McCarr takes it back. Drops it back to Necas, who cruises through the neutral zone in the Penguins' end, far side, swings it up to MacKinnon, near point, above the near circle. They'll leave it for McCarr, who walks the blue line. High slot. Back to MacKinnon, near half wall. Downstairs for Necas. Below the circle to MacKinnon above the near circle in the slot. Back to Necas. Thought about a one-timer. Cross-ice pass. Kicked a Penguin skate. It tumbles to the far corner. Connor Dewar will get it up to Ben Kindle. He'll take his time with it, retreat into the Penguin zone, and milk off more time on this Penguins penalty.
Just a veteran move there by Ben Kindle to shave off some more seconds on a really good PK here from the Penguins.
He then clears it down as Colorado gets their 2nd unit out onto the ice. 20 seconds to go on this Penguins PK. No score, 2.5 minutes into the game. The Avalanche wheel it into the Penguin zone. It's now taken by Noel Acciari. He'll skate it up ice over the Avs line, near side in the circle. Got stripped of it. Taken back by Nichushkin. They'll give it to Nicholas Waugh, cruising over the Penguin line near side. Down into the corner, 2 seconds, 1. Malkin's out of the box. We're back to 5-on-5 as Connor Clifton crunches Evan Brindley into the boards. Now the Penguins wheel it out of their zone on the stick of Evgeny Malkin out of the box. Chips it over to Russ, far circle, centering pass to Malkin. He scores! A signature no-look backhand shot by Evgeny Malkin. He comes out of the box and onto the board. It's 1-0 Penguins 3 minutes into this game. Unbelievable.
Welcome back, Evgeny Malkin. That was reminiscent of the 2009 Eastern Conference Finals spinorama. That was actually Igor Chinakov's favorite Gino moment. Beat Scott Wedgwood, blocker side. Massive goal there from number 71, his first game back after the 5-game suspension. Those guys, Joe, clinical penalty kill, really set Malkin up to have that moment coming out of the box.
He did his time, and now he finds the twine. Penguins lead 1-0, just a little over 3 minutes gone in this game. 14th goal this season for Evgeny Malkin.
And what a pass there from Brian Rust. Evgeny Malkin taking it, turning, backhand. You know he's absolutely fired up to be able to get that goal. Everyone's just laughing. Like, that's just such a Gino move right there. Exactly what they needed.
Well, and we didn't even get a chance to talk about Scott Wedgwood's numbers in net for the Colorado Avalanche. He comes into this game with a 5-game win streak. A 120 goals against average during that stretch as Letang pumps one just wide of the net. Brazeau fishes it out, and for a centering pass, it gets taken away by Colorado. Save percentage of .954 for Wedgwood. And his goals against average this year, along with his save percentage, leads the league. As here's a wrister, a save by Artur Shilovs. And one of the Avalanche players is inside the crease, as it was Parker Kelly behind Artur Shilovs. But the Penguins gain control of the puck in their own zone, and they'll pitch it up ahead to Ville Koivunen. Now Letang and Kelly get tangled up in the near circle. Penguins work it out to the neutral zone. It's Tommy Novak right back to Evgeny Malkin over the Avs line. In the slot, a shot fired and a save by Scott Wedgwood. Evgeny Malkin eager to shoot the puck as he's back on the ice for the first time in 5.5 games. 1-0 Penguins, 4 minutes gone in this game. Evgeny Malkin with the lone goal.
You knew he was going to want to come out flying after having to sit on the sidelines for 5 games as his team is scratching and clawing for every point. Already without Sidney Crosby, his teammate of 20 seasons. And it didn't start off great. You're like, oh, Gino, you don't want to see him go to the box for a preventable penalty, but he made up for it.
Here's Marty Necas speeding into the Penguin zone, had to stop on a dime. McKinnon in there, he shoots and scores. Marty Necas came hustling into the Penguin zone on the far side. He had to slow down as some of the Penguins' defense came, but from the circle, that just drew time for Nathan McKinnon, who came flying into the Penguin zone as well from the high slot. He ripped a one-timer. And McKinnon, with his 45th goal of the season, ties this game up at 1.
And that leads the entire NHL. Great setup there from Necas, and it's just one of those things. Ilya Solovyev, who played in Colorado, talked to him this morning, said, what's the key, the biggest key against this Colorado team? And he said, shut down their top line first and foremost. And they're able to go out there and get a huge goal, tie the game. Big response after the tally for Malkin.
McKinnon now with 2 goals and 4 assists in his last 3 games. Here's a stretch pass to Mantha on a breakaway backhand. He scores! What an answer by the Penguins and Anthony Mantha. It's a new career high and a 2-1 lead for the Penguins here in the first.
All Anthony Mantha has been doing as of late is scoring huge goals for the Penguins, clutch goals for the Penguins. Breakaway, backhand, an unbelievable pass by who else but the world-class defenseman, Erik Karlsson. You know, we've talked so much about the absence of Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, rightfully so, but when you have a 3-time Norris Trophy winner as the NHL's best defenseman still in your lineup, you're in a good spot. He makes a great pass to set up Anthony Mantha, and what a finish from the big man to get that career high in goals.
Mantha scores 15 seconds after McKinnon's equalizer, which, just for clarification, was on a wrister, not a one-timer, but McKinnon's goal was just 1 minute and 7 seconds after Malkin's goal. It's 2-1 Penguins, not even 5 minutes into this game. But the way I think of it, Mish, if the Penguins are going to win this game, it might have to be a shootout. And I don't mean a literal shootout. I mean a figurative shootout.
You're stressing me and everybody else listening
again,
out
we're not
with
even
that
5
word.
minutes into this game. But that seems to be the way to beat this Colorado Avalanche team.
Yeah, of course you want to play a perfect game. You want to be stingy defensively and not give up a lot and keep them from finding the net. But they're just so dynamic and so dangerous and so talented that it's going to be difficult. You're right. The Penguins just have to find a way to hold down the fort as best they can and find some goals themselves.
Hard hit by Josh Manson on Connor Clifton. Penguins have the puck in the Avs zone, though. Clifton will collect near half wall, sweeps it along the end boards. Achari, turnaround attempt. Couldn't get a clean shot off. Soderblom creates traffic in the slot. Sent the puck over to the near corner as Blankenberg, the former Nashville Predator, helps Colorado work it up the near wall as Clifton sends a hard check on Kiviranta up at the point. The Penguins gain control of the puck. 5.5 minutes gone in this game. It's 2-1 Pens. Ben Kindle with a nice move around Nicholas Wan. Now chips it down to the near corner of Colorado's zone. Koivunen chases. Kindle comes away with it, but Koivunen with a hard check on Brett Kulak, the former Penguin. And this is going to be a penalty on Koivunen. It's a cross check on Koivunen along the end boards, and the Penguins are going to be shorthanded for the second time tonight. We're still in the first period, not even 6 minutes through.
And that's tough because they're going for a puck, they're battling, but you know that's just one of those things. As a rookie, you're maybe going to learn the hard way in some of these scenarios, but it's difficult because I think Dan Muse showed some faith in Ville Koivunen, keeping him in the lineup with a couple of guys coming back, and Justin Brazeau and Evgeny Malkin. I mean, Avery Hayes has been solid for them. And so I'm sure, you know, it's something where that's got to weigh on Koivunen that he took this penalty, but he's going to have to find a way to reset, put it behind him, and just come out stronger after he gets out of the box.
Colorado wins the draw. Quick shot by McKinnon is a left pad save from Shelovs, and the Penguins clear it down. 15 seconds gone on the Penguins PK. They lead 2-1 over Colorado with 6 minutes gone in this game. Marty Necas takes it through the neutral zone near side. Actually pitched it back from McKinnon. A little bit of a slingshot move here for the Avs. Quick shot on net and a save by Shelovs. As McKinnon was able to cruise into the Penguin zone and rip a wrister through Connor Clifton's defense. We'll get another faceoff to the right of Shelovs.
He can just fly, Joe. I mean, it's one of those things. Him, Connor McDavid, I mean, they just float over the ice when you watch them play. But I'm excited to see Artur Shelovs. I think he really brings his game against players like that. Leon Draisaitl in the Olympics stopped, 10 attempts from him. So I think he's going to be up to this challenge as much as he can against a player like that.
In the slot, shot fired, saved by Shelovs, and a little bit of a scramble in front of the crease, but Shelovs keeps hold of the puck. 1:20 to go on the Penguins PK. They lead 2-1 over the Avs. In this first period where the Penguins scored first, McKinnon tied things up, and then Anthony Mantha with a breakaway put the Penguins back on top 2-1. We'll get a face-off to the left of Shelovs now. Colorado out shooting the Penguins 5-3.
And that was a shot from Brock Nelson. 21 goals and 40 points in 41 career games against Pittsburgh. Most of them, I think all of them, have come with the Islanders. So he's definitely one of those players that has a reputation for being a Penguins killer, and just another player on this roster that's going to be hard to handle.
Yeah, this is the first time that the Penguins have actually faced Brock Nelson as a Colorado Avalanche. As the Avs win the draw, Makar to Kadri. Down to Makar, high slot, slings it over to Necas above the near circle. Downstairs for McKinnon at the corner, looking for an angle. Keeps hold of it, brings it to the dot, centering pass. It's back to McKinnon, quick shot on net, saved by Shelovs. Bounces off the end boards, Clifton couldn't get a hold of it. Wheeled over to Kadri, far half wall, now up to Makar, high slot. Makar to Kadri again at the point. Back to Makar above the near circle, cruises in. Centering pass, got kicked wide by a Penguin skate as Kadri collects, sends it to Makar in the slot. Necas one-timer, pad save, Skinner. Rebound back out to the near half wall. They get it up to Makar, high slot, Necas over to Kadri. Makar one-timer, deflected wide of the net. 35 seconds to go on the Penguins PK. Still trying to get it out of their zone. As Nelson keeps it alive, he's got it above the circle. Now to Makar above the far circle. Curls back to the point, down to the far half wall for Kadri. Makar, high slot, near circle. Wrister, saved by Shelovs. Loose puck to the far side. Ryan Shea will clear it down. 15 seconds to go on the Penguins PK.
That was a long shift for those guys. They needed that clear and were able to get it.
Down to single digits on the Penguins penalty. They lead 2-1 over Colorado with 12.5 to play in this first. Wheeled into the Penguins zone. Nichushkin at the half wall. Lost it to Rust. He coughed it up to Waugh in the slot. Nichushkin near circle had to curl around. Take it up the wall. High slot for Taves. Waugh in the circle. Rister got blocked. Loose puck to the side of the crease. And behind the net, it's Waugh. We're back to 5-on-5 here. 12-12 to go in the period. Penguins have the puck. They get it up to Rust in the neutral zone. They'll chip it into Colorado's, and it was knocked down by Taves as Colorado comes back the other way. Waugh taps it over the Penguin line near corner. Wotherspoon plays it off the board. Sends it to the far side. Couldn't clear it. Kept alive. Shot coming. Saved by Shilovs. Rebound pops out in front, and he freezes it. Just under 12 minutes to go in the first period, and the Penguins have killed off 2 penalties and have scored 2 goals. They lead the Avalanche 2-1 here in Colorado. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
What are 2 things the Pittsburgh Penguins have in common with Cleveland Brothers Equipment Company? Hard work and dedication. If you're looking for heavy equipment, need a specific part, or want expert service, talk to the industry leaders at Cleveland Brothers, your local CAT dealer. We provide solutions and products for construction, landscaping, oil and gas, electric and industrial power, highway, and more. Let us help you score the winning goal. Visit www.clevelandbrothers.com to learn more.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Still with it. Here's a one-timer and a score!
Sirius XM 91.
As the official professional products partner of the Pittsburgh Penguins, Kimberly-Clark Professionals deliver trusted brands like Scott, Kleenex, and Wipe-All to deliver game-ready hygiene solutions that keep facilities clean, efficient, and prepared for action. Learn more at kcprofessional.com.
Tender Care Learning Centers, the early education professionals, has been providing quality child care and preschool education for over 40 years. To find one of our 20 convenient locations near you, visit tendercarelc.org. Tender Care Learning Centers is the child care provider of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Hey everyone, Adney and Verk here to talk about our great podcast, NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers.
Jason Demers here. After playing 700 NHL games, it turns out I have an opinion or 2. Whoever's saying trade one of them, you don't know anything about hockey. I'm on the bandwagon. I'm rooting for this team. With new guests every week, we will talk about hockey and more.
Can't wait till you watch this movie because it's the biggest award of her career.
He went into the cheetah exhibit. The cheetah took a piece out of him, and he came into the ring the next day.
Tune in to NHL Unscripted with Verk and Demers, the iHeartRadio app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Very nice moment for former Colorado Avalanche defenseman Sam Girard. Not in the lineup for the Penguins tonight, but he is being recognized by the promo team and fans here at Ball Arena. He won the Cup here in 2022, came over to the Penguins in the trade for Brett Kulak. Penguins also acquiring a second-round pick in that deal. Kulak in this game for Colorado. And Girard dealing with an issue. They're not available tonight. Penguins with a 2-1 lead over Colorado. We've got 11:40 to play in this first period as Igor Chinikov chips it down to Colorado's zone. Poked away by Tommy Novak. Evgeny Malkin's got it near circle. Got it up to Letang. D to Shea. Had some trouble with it far point, but still gets hold of it. Down low for Novak. Curls around. We got a delayed penalty here on Colorado. Over to the bench goes Shilovs. Letang with the puck near half wall. Got it to Malkin. And now Colorado will touch the puck, and the Penguins will get their first power play of the night.
2 minutes interference.
So it's Jack Drury to the box. The Penguins on the power play, a 2-1 lead with 11:20 to go in this first.
And yes, he is related to Chris Drury, GM of the New York Rangers. That is his uncle. His father, Ted, also great player, represented Team USA. But Evgeny Malkin drawing that penalty there is part of a good shift for that line, and a great pass from Ryan Shea on the point to get it through traffic to Tommy Novak, and we're able to work a little bit with a delayed penalty, and now they'll go to work with the man advantage.
Malkin will take the draw back on this top power play unit, sends it over to the far wall, and it's poked out to the neutral zone by Josh Manson's right hand. Selected by Erik Karlsson. Penguins lead 2-1. We've got 11 minutes to go in this first period from Colorado. Pitch back to Ricard Raquel. He'll take it over the Avs line near side. Chipped it to the wall, right to himself. Now he slings it around the boards. Malkin leaves it for Mantha. Up top to Carlson. Down low to Raquel. To the crease for Russ. Couldn't handle the pass. He'll pitch it back up to Carlson near point. He couldn't handle that pass. Juggled over the blue line. Penguins have to reset now. Brian Rust in the neutral zone. Takes it over the far side of the Avs line. Trying to get it to Gino. A little bit out of his reach. Colorado takes it the other way. Manson at the neutral zone will curl back. Now take it slowly over the Penguins line. Will fire it right on net. A glove save by Shelovs. He'll drop it to Anthony Mantha. 65 seconds to go on the Penguins power play. They lead 2-1 here in Colorado. Malkin over the Avs line, right down the middle of the blue line. Mantha in the crease. A wrister high of the net. Rebound to the near corner. Parker Kelly tries to work it out. He'll get it out to the neutral zone. Chris Letang has to settle it down now as the Penguins' second unit comes out onto the ice with 45 seconds to go on their power play.
Evgeny Malkin slowed the game down. He had 3 blue jerseys around him, still found Anthony Mantha with the perfect pass and just sailed it over the net, but some great reading and reacting there from those two.
Cleared out again by Colorado. Penguins are just trying to get a clean entry. They've got 30 seconds left on their power play. Leading 2-1 with 9:45 to go in the first. Along the far boards, Novak's got it. Centering pass looking for Brazeau, but it just missed him, as he would have had a wide open opportunity in the crease. The Avs clear it down again. 15 seconds to go on the Penguins power play. Maybe one last rush here as Chinakhov drops it back to Letang. He'll dump it into Colorado's end. Far corner, rushing in Chinakhov. Shot on net and a save by Wedgwood. Fight for the puck in the far corner. Colorado's got it. It's cleared out by Brock Nelson. Out of the box comes Drury. We're back to 5-on-5. Penguins unsuccessful on their lone power play tonight. They're 2 for 2 on the PK. As Connor Dewar now chips it down to the near corner for Nola Chari. He works for it, but Nathan McKinnon comes away with it far corner of the Avs end. He'll chip it down to the Penguins zone. Settled down by Ryan Shea. Hunted down by Nichushkin. He's got the puck. At the half boards, he got it up to the point for Kulak. McKinnon in the slot. Far circle wrister blocked by Soderblom. Collects the rebound at the point. Got it over to the near circle Natchez, and a block shot by Ryan Shea. Couldn't clear it. Kulak keeps it alive. High slot to the far circle now. Wrister. Glove saved by Shelovs, but only fought it off. Flipped up to Kulak at the near point. He'd get it to McKinnon. Centering pass to Nichushkin. Swept it wide. Sent him behind the net. Natchez to McKinnon at the near corner. Along the near boards. Takes it down to the corner. Defended by Dewar. Nichushkin in the circle. Chipped it up to Kulak. Kulak hangs on. Polinsky in the high slot. Wrister. Saved by Shelovs. Fought off with a blocker. Parker Wotherspoon tried to clear it, but it went tumbling in front of the Penguins' net. Shelovs read that, froze it, and will stop this action with 8:13 to go in the first period. Penguins lead 2-1. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
The best teams, the biggest moments. It's the UEFA Champions League on Sirius XM FC. A masterclass in Madrid gave Real a 3-goal advantage.
Into Valverde for the hat-trick!
Can Man City turn the tide and pull off a historic upset?
Erling Haaland fires one into the left-hand corner!
Manchester City, Real Madrid, tomorrow at 4 Eastern on Sirius XM FC, channel 157 in the car and the Sirius XM app.
NHL Morning Skate.
What's the big difference been for the New York Islanders this season?
Matthew Schaefer. Here's Schaefer now passes Phil Housley for the most goals scored by an 18-year-old defenseman. The only other comparable I have right now, and I'm not saying he's going to have the Bobby Orr career, but he's got a great future ahead of him, is Bobby Orr to Matthew Schaefer.
NHL Morning Skate. Weekdays at 7 a.m. Eastern with Gord Stellick and Scott Laughlin. NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
Feel the pulse-pounding drama of the UEFA Champions League knockout stage on Sirius XM FC. The stakes are raised as Europe's elite.
Real Madrid do what they do best. A 5-star show from Manchester City. What a start for Inter.
Battle in a quest for club soccer's ultimate prize.
This is the place where dreams come true.
This is where legends are made. The Champions League knockout stage on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app. Edge.
A 2-1 lead for the Penguins over the Colorado Avalanche here in Denver. We've got 8:13 to go in the first period. And a face-off to the right of Artur Shelovs.
He's already seen 11 shots so far this period, Joe. And he's coming off a tough outing against Vegas. He gave up 5 goals on 15 shots. And, you know, I think the word I'd use to describe his play right now is just battle. Like, the saves haven't necessarily been the prettiest, but he's making the saves, and that's all you can ask for. And he'll just keep building from here.
Well, Shilov's looking for a pretty big bounce-back effort. He's given up 13 goals in his last 3 games. He's allowed 1 so far tonight, but to the guy who has scored the most goals in the NHL, and Nathan MacKinnon. Colorado in the Penguin zone once again, and the slot shot coming, fought off by Shilovs, denying Brock Nelson of a wrister in the slot. Colorado still with it. Waugh at the circle. They'll work over to the point, send it rink wide to Tays at the point on the far side. The Makar at the near point, towards the net, deflected just wide. Pulled up by Waugh, in behind the net. He'll get it over to Nelson, near side at the corner. Chip it down to Waugh, flipped up to Makar, near point. Walks the blue line, poked away by Anthony Mantha. Puck goes out to the neutral zone. Penguins will get a change. 7.5 to play in this first period. The Penguins lead 2-1. Igor Chinikov got the puck, tried to feed it to Malkin, but it got disrupted by Colorado. Now Josh Manson, a second-generational player, flipped it over to Drury, who got leveled by Ricard Raquel. Colorado still takes the puck in the Penguin zone, though. Rolled over to the far corner. Letang couldn't clear it. Now it's taken by Parker Wotherspoon. He'll sling it off the boards on the near side. Angled into the Colorado zone. Chinikov races it down. Malkin scores! The Chino to Gino connection is back! A 2-goal lead for the Penguins on Evgeny Malkin's second goal of the period. It's 3-1 with 7 to go in the first.
It is Malkamania in the Mile High City. He is just buzzing, and what an effort from Igor Chinikov. 2 defensemen on him. He manages to get possession, give a perfect pass over to Evgeny Malkin, and you just see that happen. You say, Gino has some time and space, he's going to make a play. And he's able to beat Wedgwood, short side, goes a little backhand, forehand, chips it through. I mean, this is exactly what you wanted to see from Evgeny Malkin in his first game back after missing 5 due to that suspension.
Colorado is stalling right now, but they're making a goalie change. That's why. Thought for a second that they might be challenging, but this is huge for the Penguins, knocking Scott Wedgwood out of this game, scoring 3 goals on the best goaltender in the NHL per goals against average and save percentage. 3 goals on 5 shots, and Mackenzie Blackwood is coming into this game.
He has not lost a game in this arena in regulation. It's incredible the season he's been having, the career he's been having in Colorado after bouncing around with a few different teams. I mean, he's found a home here, got re-signed, and has been terrific. But you could tell right off the hop he wasn't happy with that first goal he let up and just wasn't quite able to find it from there. And, you know, it's one of those things sometimes if your goalie, you know, doesn't have it, or you want to give the guys a boost, you make this move. We'll see how the Avs respond, and the Penguins have to be ready for them to come out ready to respond. That's something, Joe, I feel like they've struggled with a little bit, especially on this road trip, is that first shift after a goal, not giving up one. So they'll need to be bearing down on this shift with Noel Acciari to take that face-off.
No, you're absolutely right. It's been the response after goals that has really stemmed the Penguins a few times this year. But again, it was Anthony Mantha's goal 15 seconds after McKinnon's that tied the game. It's now 3-1 Penguins in this first. Makar shot, rather Tays a shot, and a save by Shilovs, who has now collected 13 saves in this first period. We still got 6:45 to go. Mackenzie Blackwood is the new goaltender for the Colorado Avalanche here. And to more on your point, I do think it's more so of trying to change the tone for their team that Jared Bednar made this move, more so than Scott Wedgwood having a rough game.
Absolutely, because some of the, I mean, grade A chances from the Penguins that they were able to convert on. And, you know, we talk about the weapons Colorado has. The Penguins have some as well. When you give them time and space, they're usually going to make the opponent pay, and so far they've done that tonight.
Yeah, the most recent 2 were point-blank opportunities, Mantha and Malkin. But a 3-1 lead for the Pens here in Colorado. They shovel it down to the Avs zone far corner, pitch it up to Soderblom at the half wall. 6:20 to go in this first. Penguins lead 3-1. Wotherspoon keeps it outside, gets it to Carlson. Rister coming. They score! Elmer Soderblom has his first goal as a Pittsburgh Penguin, and the big guy puts the Pens up by 3.
Talk about a response that is the exact response you want. Just keep pushing, just keep scoring. And the glue guy, Elmer Soderblom, putting home a rebound, just crashing the paint. He's such a big body and can wreak havoc there, and that's what he says he does when he's at his best, is trying to be physical. And Erik Karlsson starts that play by getting the puck to the blue paint with bodies there. Connor Dewar gets a stick on it, bounces over to Soderblom, and he puts it home. And Joe, that has to be huge for the new Penguin, his first in black and gold.
Well, you may have heard a Let's Go Pens chant starting to erupt here at Ball Arena. Penguins have the puck again in Colorado zone. Koivunen at the near circle, drops it back. Clifton Arister got deflected and sails out of play. The Penguins lead 4-1 over the Colorado Avalanche with 6 minutes to go in this first period. They've knocked out Scott Wedgwood. They score 1 goal on the first shot against Mackenzie Blackwood, and we'll go to a break with the Penguins up by 3 here in Denver. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Want to rack up some points? Join #1 Cochrane Club One Rewards and turn your vehicle into a scoring machine. You'll earn points with every dollar spent on service and can redeem points for dollars off a new vehicle or future service. Plus, save on gas and rental cars with our valuable partner perks. Score your free membership now at clubonerewards.cochrane.com. #1 Cochrane, official auto group of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Wake up to value at Get Go Cafe and Market. Mix and match your mornings with 2 breakfast sandwiches for just $6. Choose 2 breakfast sandwiches stacked with egg, meat, and cheese on your choice of bagel, fluffy biscuit, or flaky croissant. Exclude steak and Impossible sandwiches. Fill up with 2 breakfast sandwiches for just $6 at Get Go Cafe and Market, the official convenience store of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
What is life-changing medicine? Is it returning to the playing field or your favorite hiking path after an injury? Or running with your grandkids after a joint replacement? At UPMC, life-changing medicine is all those things. Through innovative research, rehabilitation, and advanced surgical procedures, our experts get you back to what you love doing. UPMC, changing healthcare, changing lives. Life-changing medicine.
6 minutes to go in the first here in Denver, Colorado. And if you're just joining us, where have you been? Penguins with a 4-1 lead over the Avalanche. Evgeny Malkin is on hat-trick watch. 2 goals for Malkin after serving his 5-game suspension. He's now looking for his 16th career hat-trick when you include the playoffs. Penguins have also gotten goals from Anthony Mantha, a new career high for him with 26. And Elmer Soderblom has his first goal as a Pittsburgh Penguin. It's 4-1 Pens over the Avs.
Just spreading it out, and that's what this team, when they're at their best, that's part of their identity.
Face off in the Colorado zone. Penguins win it. Letang towards the net. Got deflected, popped out of play. 5:53 to go in this first. Chris Letang, meanwhile, still sitting on point number 799. He's been sitting on that for the last 7 games now. This would be a nice time for him to pick up number 800. If Penguins just want to keep the offense rolling, I'm sure he'd be fine with that.
Yeah, they just got to keep doing what they're doing. Don't take their foot off the gas. It's easy to sort of do that when you're in a position like this, and they just got to keep pushing.
Penguins want a couple of penalties called, but no whistles blown, and now they score. Colorado sends a blast from the far point, and it's the veteran Brent Burns that sends it towards the net. Looks like it got deflected through, but Colorado is back on the board. It's 4-2 Penguins with 5:40 to go in this first period.
And who else with the tip but Brock Nelson? We already said he was a player to watch. He tends to put up big numbers against the Penguins. He's just so effective at that net front presence if he did end up getting his stick on it. But he's already, it's something where Artur Shilovs has really been having to sort of, go left, go right, try to see around the screen that he's been providing. It's not easy. And Joe, it's one of those things, talking to Brett Kulak this morning, he said, being around this team, one of the things is we don't get too high or too low. If we're up by 2, down by 2, the mindset, the effort is just steady. And so when you're best in the league and you've won before, you just got to regroup, and they did a good job of that, finding that second goal here.
6 goals in this first period. And we still have 5 minutes left. Penguins trying to work it out of their zone. Near corner, it's Parker Kelly. He'll sling it over to Malinsky's over the far side. It gets past him and all the way down into Colorado's zone. Malinsky will pull it up in behind the new goaltender Mackenzie Blackwood's net. On the far side, it's Marty Natchez in the Penguins zone. It's crunched into the board. Shinikov touched it. Now McKinnon's got it in the slot near circle. He'll pull it up to Manson at the high slot. Stolen away by Connor Dewar. He'll take it over the Avs line, chip it down to the near corners. The Penguins could get a change. Manson collects in behind his net, still hunted by Dewar, but he gets it over to Chuskin with a saucer pass on the near side. Chips it down to the Penguins end, over to the far corner. Wotherspoon tries to spin it around the boards. Soderblom will flip it up into the air. It goes airborne and pawed down by Manson. He gets it back to McKinnon in the Penguin zone. Are now stripped away by the Pens. Nola Chari sends it ahead to Soderblom. In the Avs zone, towards the crease. Can't finish off a shot. Got tied up by Josh Manson. Still gets it to Ben Kindle. He'll bring it to the far side. At the high slot, it's Wotherspoon. Shovels it down towards, but the Penguins are offside. Wotherspoon thought he had kind of cradled that blue line, but the official saying he took the puck over into the neutral zone. 4:10 to go in this first period. It's 4-2 Penguins here in Denver.
Well, Joe, unleashing AI takes brain power and real power. And from back in Pittsburgh, EQT fuels the innovation, driving the next big play.
That's Michelle Crecchiolo. I'm Joe Brand. We're here in Denver, Colorado. The Penguins with a 4-2 lead over the Avalanche. After a 4-1 advantage for the Pens, Colorado gets one back. And they're keeping it Brent Burns' goal for the moment. Well, just as I say that, looks like the score sheet might be updating. We'll keep you updated on that, though. Ben Kindle in his own zone sends it ahead to Chris Letang. He'll take it through the neutral zone and tap it down to the Avs end. Rolls over to the near corners. Dustin Brazeau got in front of Devon Toews for the puck. Centering pass couldn't connect with Koivunen. Taken the other way by Colorado. Nicholas Waugh over the Penguins zone. Chips it down to the corner. Rolls along the end boards. Letang couldn't keep hold of it. Waugh takes it back. It's swung over to the far point as Toews races it down, sends it deep for Colorado. Kadri taken out from behind the net. As everyone's shoveling for the puck, Letang sitting on the seat of his pants right now with his back against the end boards. Brazeau trying to dig the puck out. Kadri is able to fork it up to Makar. Back to Kadri above the near circle towards the net. Blocked by the Pens. Couldn't sweep it out of the crease. And another big save by Shilovs as a turnaround point-blank shot by Nicholas Waugh. Shilovs has come up with 15 saves tonight. It's just the first period. 3:11 to go in it. Penguins lead 4-2.
And that was a sneaky good save because it looked like the Penguins were getting a clear. You think plays going the other way. It can be easy in that split second to just take a breath and be ready for your guys to go up the ice. And it was a quick turning shot, and he was ready to make a huge stop there. Great work there by Artur Shilovs.
So another face-off to the right of Shilovs. Penguins win this draw. Carlson is able to get it out to the neutral zone. Russ to Raquel over the Avs line. Far circle. Dragged and fired it off the leg of one of the Colorado players as Mantha tries to chip it down to the corner. Now we'll dig it down to the near side. Raquel's got it at the goal line. Draws some attention, but then sweeps it over to Mantha. Now a fight for the puck. It's taken away by Nichushkin. He'll hustle it the other way for Colorado. Natchez flips it down to the Penguin zone near corner. Wotherspoon pokes it along to Carlson as Raquel couldn't get it up the near boards. Now it's taken away by Brian Rust. Skating it over the neutral zone to Wotherspoon, far point. Flutters it towards the net. It goes wide. Mantha couldn't play it off the end boards. It rebounded right to Nichushkin. But Mantha disrupts the play, pokes it over to Carlson. He'll race it down in the Penguin zone. 2:20 to go in this first. Penguins with a 2-goal lead over Colorado. Evgeny Malkin with 2 goals tonight in his first game back after a 5-game suspension. And his line is out there on the ice in the Colorado zone right now. Malkin at the far corner, trying to play keep away. Raced after by Taves, in behind the net. He'll flip it ahead of the neutral zone. Ilya Solovyov trying to knock it down. It's hunted down, though, by Bardakov in behind the Penguins net. Squeaked away along the goal line. Shot by Kelly goes wide as it's flipped up over to the far point for Colorado. They'll chip it down to the corner and rim it around the boards. Kelly collects at the near half wall. Shovels it up to Taves. Sends it towards the net. Wide. Bounces off the end boards. Goes over to the far corner. Blankenberg takes a hard check from Solovyov in the far corner. The Penguins still trying to get the puck out. Solovyov will get it on the near side. Couldn't clear it. Takes it back, though. Sends it to Clifton and behind Shilov's net. Chipped it over to the far side. Malkin will take his time with it and sweep it up to the neutral zone. Tommy Novak over the Avs line far side. Got tied up by Bardakov. He'll work it down to the corner. Now it's raced after by Chinikov. He's able to get the puck over to Brazeau and behind the net. Over to the far corner. Taves takes it back. Down to the final minute, or at least 70 seconds of this first period. Penguins lead Colorado 4-2. Wow over the Penguins line far side in the circle. Swept over by Ryan Shea. Taken back by Brent Burns. Wrister coming. Fought up by Shilovs. And another save by Shilovs. Sprawling at the top of the crease. The puck is still loose. It goes over to the near corner. Spit over to the far side. Shilovs regains composure. Shot on net and another pad save. Ben Kindle collects the rebound. Tries to call off the Dogs, but Colorado still hunting in the Penguin zone. Finally brings it up to center ice. Over the Avs line. Swings it over to Achari far wall. Took a weird bounce. He had to shovel it down to the corner as Kindle tried to sweep a pass up to the high slot. No one was there. Goes all the way down to the Penguins' end. Shilovs will play it, though. 30 seconds to go in this first period. Penguins lead 4-2. Elmer Soderblom in the Colorado zone. Chips it down to the corner. Alinsky flings it over to the far side. Connor Dewar races after it at the far point. Keeps it in Colorado's zone. We've got 13 seconds to go in the period. It's chipped down to the corner. Malinsky in behind the net. Crunched into the boards by Soderblom. Goes over to the far side. Worked up to the point. In the circle, it's taken by Colorado with 2 seconds. One. And that'll do it for the first 20 here in Denver. A heavyweight matchup with some heavyweight players. All the big guys scoring for the Pens. Evgeny Malkin with 2. Anthony Mantha with a new career high. Elmer Soderblom with his first as a Penguin. And Artur Shilov's 16 saves. Big reason why the Penguins are holding a 2-goal lead right now. Back to back incredible stops from Artur Shilov at the end of that period to keep the Penguins' 2-goal lead. Gets his shoulder on a point shot, a falling down save on a rebound, and then gets behind a point shot that's tipped. So, I mean, he is a gamer, Joe. He is bringing it tonight against the best team in the NHL, and that is just awesome to see from Artur Shilov, who, like we talked about, is coming off a couple of games that maybe, weren't his best, but he's bringing his best tonight. Well, already a ton to talk about after just the first 20 minutes of this game. Brian Metzer always does a great job breaking it all down. He'll have the first intermission for you. Coming up next, Penguins lead Colorado 4-2 here in Denver. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Pittsburgh-based EQT Corporation is the top natural gas producer in the United States and is a proud sponsor of the Pittsburgh Penguins' pathway to net zero. EQT is an industry leader in cutting emissions and using our region's clean resources to replace dirtier sources of energy overseas. EQT and the Penguins are focused on achieving key climate goals and reducing emissions across Pittsburgh and beyond. Visit EQT.com to learn more about how EQT is moving towards the future and setting the standard for production of affordable, reliable, and clean energy.
Spotting the perfect fit is kind of your thing. So when it comes to finding a used car, start your search at FordBlueAdvantage.com and find the perfect certified pre-owned vehicle at your local Ford dealer. One that comes with serious perks, like a thorough inspection, a Ford-backed warranty, even a Carfax report. Because you know what they say, the best finds are the ones that feel made for you. Ford Blue Advantage. Used car buying that's built for you. Available at participating dealers only. See your dealer for details and limitations.
Dear team, thanks for showing up for me with the best face paint and taunting the other team in the kindest way. For standing on your seat when I need the support and screaming until your throat hurts because you know it makes a difference. For wearing my number. For being the best teammates a player could ask for. At Highmark, we're proud to be cheering alongside the best teammates. Fans like you. Because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Official health plan of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm, For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Proud sponsor of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Office is Pittsburgh.
This is the Penguins Live Intermission Report.
And welcome into our first intermission report where the Penguins lead the Avalanche 4-2 after one period of play at Ball Arena in Colorado. Brian Metzer back here with you. And you wanted Evgeny Malkin back. Well, he arrived on the scene in a big way. He got out of his little prison sentence of 5 games and served a penalty to kick off this game just 48 seconds in for tripping. But from there, he scored a goal, his 14th of the season at 3:01 of the period, just finishing a little give and go with Brian Rust. Rust and Malkin come into the zone. He finds Gino where he goes to the backhand spinorama to make it a 1-0 game in favor of the Penguins. Nola Chari with the other helper on that. Then it was Nathan MacKinnon's turn. You know, he always seems to get on the board against the Penguins. He got number 45 on the season from Necas and Makar. That came at 4:08, just a minute 7 after Gino's goal. But Anthony Mantha would answer on a breakaway, his 26th of the season, taking a pass from Erik Karlsson, getting in behind the defense and scoring just 15 seconds later. And it was the final moment for Wedgwood for the Avalanche. He would leave the game in favor of Mackenzie Blackwood. Penguins would quickly score on him, though, because it would be a situation where you got Evgeny Malkin getting his 15th of the year from Chinakhov and Wotherspoon. Soderblom would get his first as a Penguin, his third on the season from Dewar and Karlsson, but the Avs would get one from Brent Burns, his 10th at 14:21. So a lot to squeeze in there. So we'll go into a little bit more in depth later on the postgame show. Penguins faced 17 shots and only managed 7, but they have a handy lead in this hockey game. Whenever we come back, a conversation with Dan Kingerski from Pittsburgh Hockey Now. He joins me next on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
The heaviest metal credit card of all time. Rumored to be one of only 18 in existence. Plated with the very same tungsten that forged the International Space Station. And wielded at business dinners like a samurai sword. It's a classic corporate power move. But the real power move? Having end-to-end visibility on your most critical shipments. FedEx, the new power move.
As the largest and most experienced program in the region, UPMC Sports Medicine knows that injuries can happen to anyone, whether you're a weekend athlete, a rising star, or even a seasoned pro. That's why we offer a complete range of services and experts to help treat and prevent sports-related injuries to get you back in the game. To make an appointment, visit upmcsportsmedicine.com. The UPMC is the official healthcare provider of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Tired of the cold and shoveling snow? Same. This year, make an easy escape from winter by switching to S&T Bank. With online and mobile banking, you are always in control. Set savings goals, track your budget, and transfer funds faster than you can say, "Pina colada, please." With convenient locations and ATMs, we'll make planning your next tropical trip a breeze. Stop by your local S&T branch, visit stbank.com, or call 800-325-2265. Banking made easy so you can spend more time in the sun. S&T Bank, member FDIC.
Hey, Pens fans, Colby Armstrong here. As the official security partner of the Pittsburgh Penguins, the local team here at Vector Security is committed to protecting homes and businesses throughout southwestern PA. They are headquartered here. Their families eat, shop, and go to school and church in our communities. So they have a vested interest in keeping the homes and businesses of our neighbors safe and secure. Visit vectorsecurity.com/pens for a free security assessment that will address your unique needs. That's vectorsecurity.com/pens.
The Pittsburgh Penguins are brought to you by our founding partners, Coca-Cola and the new Coke Zero, founding partner of the Penguins. Now, back to the Penguins Live Intermission Report with Brian Metzer.
Pens ahead of the Avs 4-2 after one period of play in Colorado. And a quick correction, it was Gino's second goal of the game at 13 minutes in that chased Wedgwood from the hockey game. But joining me now, it's our good buddy Dan Kingerski from Pittsburgh Hockey Now. And Dan, I'm not sure I had 6 goals in the first period on the bingo card, but especially didn't have 4 for the Penguins. How about you?
You know, they finished every chance, didn't they? I mean, they were outshot. It's now down to 17-7. But because they were finishing their chances, this was kind of a role reversal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Where instead of the Penguins seeing every mistake go in their net, they were doing the same to Colorado.
Yeah, it was really interesting to see, and Evgeny Malkin was a big part of it. He looked like a caged animal being released, like they just opened that Russian tiger door and he came charging onto the ice. Your thoughts on his first period back?
Boy, is there a more quintessential look at Evgeny Malkin's illustrious 20-year career than taking an offensive zone penalty on the first shift of the game? A terrible penalty at that.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no question about that. 100 of 100 referees are going to throw the arm up when Malkin does the trip. And then he comes out, spinorama move, breakaway move, and he's flying. It's, you know, whenever he is done, be it this year, next year, or 5 years from now, it's just going to be a shame because he's so much fun to watch.
Yeah, it's been a blast to watch him this season, kind of drink from the fountain of youth a little bit. I was excited to see Soderblom go to the net the way he did to score his goal. It's almost shades of Steve McKenna with him. Maybe get his big body in front of the net like they did with Big Mac.
Wow, you are pulling a reference from our rookie days, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
You know, here, I'll throw some little tidbits about Soderblom. I was talking to him this morning, and his skates are about a size 14. His shoe size is bigger than that, but, you know, he scored the goal going to the net. Great kick pass by Nola Chari. Gets it over to Erik Karlsson, and Mats Karlsson is just dealing tonight. Couple of assists, but the way he's slowing the game down and the way he's kind of orchestrating is special. Soderblom also had a second opportunity there late in the period. It should have been a hooking or a slashing call as he went to the net kind of unabated and got whacked, but the Penguins are up 4-2, so you don't get that sort of call. Yeah, he's playing well. You'd like to see Soderblom use his shoulders more along the wall and take a few more of the loose pucks, but when you give him the puck with a little bit of space, he takes a lot more space.
Yeah, he is definitely a big body, something the Penguins haven't had a whole lot of in recent years. Dan, thank you so much for the time here tonight. Enjoy the rest of this one out in Colorado, and enjoy the rest of the road trip. We'll see you back in the Berg in the near future.
Have fun, Mets.
All right, my friend, that is Dan Kingerski. Find him on Twitter, X at the Dan Kingerski. When I come back, news from around the league right here on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Since FNB has been the official bank of the Pittsburgh Penguins, we've realized our teams aren't that different. We both have great checking, at home and on the road. With FNB's league-leading banking app, you get access to a deep lineup of checking accounts. And we both know the importance of big saves, like saving you time with our eStore Common app. One application for all your goals. Can your bank do that? Find out at fnb-online.com/eStore. FNB, member FDIC.
It takes real beer to quench real thirst, to give you real satisfaction. Iron City Beer is the perfect result of the skill and knowledge developed through 164 years in the business. Go on, grab one.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining Built Ford Tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, Built Ford Tough. Based on 1977 to 2024 calendar year total sales.
Keeping your home warm in the winter and cold in the summer, Mitsubishi Electric is a top manufacturer of heating and air conditioner products. And they're hiring. To elevate your career in engineering, project management, product assembly, and more, visit meppi.com/careers. When you're craving a savory snack that's energy boosting, nitrate free, high in protein, and full of flavor, you want the original Mr. Donair beef jerky. High quality protein, finest U.S. beef cuts, nitrate free, premium meat snacks, power play performance. Mr. Donair, proud to be the official jerky of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
The Pittsburgh Penguins are brought to you by our founding partners, Rivers Casino, Pittsburgh's entertainment destination. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Now, back to the Penguins Live Intermission Report with Brian Metzer.
Penguins ahead of the Avs, 4-2 after one period of play in Colorado. Brian Metzer back here with you. And one of the big news items in the National Hockey League today, they have the GM meetings going on, and they finally made the announcement that we all knew was coming. The World Cup of Hockey will be back in 2028, and it's going to be played in Calgary, Edmonton, and Prague. The championship games will be in Edmonton, so that'll be a big moment. Connor McDavid will be a big part of Team Canada, and they'll be going nuts, and you assume Sidney Crosby will be there. It will be a very similar-looking team, I would imagine, to the one we just saw in the Olympics, and they would want to have a better showing, and if they do, they'll do it on home ice. So big things for the league. They are really into the international competition, and the biggest question that I saw a lot of people debating online today is if Russia will be included. There's already teams saying that they might not participate if that were the case, but there's a little bit of time between now and then to see if they can work something out for the number of Russian NHLers, since it's truly more of an NHL event than anything else. So we'll see how that all plays out. Looking quickly at this hockey game here tonight, I mentioned Penguins up 4-2. Evgeny Malkin flying. Both of his goals were very quality skill goals. The one on a backhand spinorama, but the other one was just as skilled. He took a pass from Igor Chinikov, and he just gave a little gentle pause and kind of a shimmy, if you will, and was able to score that goal on Scott Wedgwood just with a nice shot to give the Penguins a 3-0 lead at that point. When we come back, Joe Brand and Michelle Crecchiolo will have second period action for you from Ball Arena, and you'll hear it next on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
The best of live sports talk are on Sirius XM. Weekday mornings, hear Dan Patrick at 9 on Channel 85.
Running backs are the best supporting actors. They can't win Best Actor.
At 1, it's the Stephen A. Smith Show on Mad Dog Sports Radio, Channel 82.
Check me out for my passionate, unfiltered take on the world of sports.
And then at 3, it's the Mad Dog, Christopher Russo.
Anybody you ask knows I'm 100% right.
Hear from legends of the game, only on Sirius XM and the Sirius XM app.
I love it. Just talk.
2-on-1.
It's coming down to the wire.
Out and across the lightning line, right circle Theodore. Theodore is checked by Hagel. 2-on-1 the other way.
Where every point can make or break a team's dream.
Back for Kucherov. Score! Kucherov!
The push to the playoffs.
The push to the playoffs.
Nathan McKinney's got some room. He scores!
Only one team can bring home the cup.
The Florida Panthers are back-to-back Stanley Cup champions.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
Sirius XM 91. The Power Play with Steve Koulias.
New general manager of the Buffalo Sabres, Jarmo Kekalainen.
Did you expect it was going to happen, so quickly where you're in the race?
We started winning games, and that happened already before I took over. The confidence started growing, and the game becomes easy, and all of a sudden you believe in yourself, and you believe in the group, and the snowball starts rolling into the right direction.
The Power Play with Steve Koulias. Weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. We deliver the NHL.
We are now joined by Team USA head coach Mike Sullivan.
Talk to us about the progression of USA hockey.
We used to always joke back then that Canada could probably put 2 teams that could compete in those international events. Well, I feel like the United States are in that boat right now. And that speaks to the depth of the talent that are at the elite level. There's so many people that deserve credit for that, but it's simply remarkable how far hockey has come in the United States.
Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Six goals scored in the first 20 minutes here in Denver, and the Penguins have scored most of them. A 4-2 lead over the Colorado Avalanche here at Ball Arena. Evgeny Malkin with 2 goals in his return after a 5-game absence due to the suspension. Anthony Mantha has a new career high with his 26th goal of the season. And then Elmer Soderblom with his first goal as a Pittsburgh Penguin. Colorado Avalanche have gotten goals from Nathan McKinnon and Brent Burns. And Mish, as we were saying during the intermission, there is a whole lot of hockey to be played. 40 minutes, and the Colorado Avalanche are not done.
It's going to be a battle. The rest of the night, the Penguins are going to have to fight for everything. They need to make sure, Joe, they keep playing their style, that relentless play where they're just second, third efforts, supporting each other up and down the ice. But they have put themselves in such a good spot. They keep flipping that script like we talk about. People on the outside aren't giving them a chance against this Colorado team without Sidney Crosby, and here they are, having built a 4-2 lead. It's so much fun to watch this team, and I can't wait to see how they try to protect this lead while still playing their own game the rest of the way.
The Penguins knocked out goaltender Scott Wedgwood after scoring 3 goals on 5 shots. The first shot against Mackenzie Blackwood was the Penguins' 4th goal of the night. And meanwhile, on the other end, Artur Shilovs has made 15 saves tonight, and he has been just getting picked apart by the Colorado offense. Just nonstop action from the Avs as we get underway here in the second period. Opening face-off to begin it is brought to you by number 1 Cochrane, Club 1 Rewards. The Penguins ice it down to Colorado's zone. They're attacking from right to left in their road white sweaters. Colorado Avalanche are dressed as the Quebec Nordiques today. They're attacking from left to right, and they're all blue uniforms.
Yeah, hopefully Artie got some electrolytes, maybe ate a banana or PB&J. He's going to have to keep that energy up, Joe, to deal with the likes of this Colorado Avalanche.
As we mentioned earlier, trying to bounce back from a couple of rough outings, 13 goals in his previous 3 games, as here's a shot blocked by Anthony Mantha. Puck tumbles over to the near corner. Ricard Raquel sent it up but not out. Colorado sends it deep. It's pulled up by Parker Wotherspoon. He'll pitch it up ahead to Raquel. It goes into Colorado's zone, but the Avs quickly clear it out. Marty Natchez coughs it up to Brian Russ. He's back over the Avs line. Shot on net, fought off by Blackwood. Tipped over to the near corner as Raquel lost it. Chuskin will bring it up the near side and slide it over to McKinnon. He'll dump it into the Penguin zone far corner on a short hop along the boards. It's taken by Erik Karlsson in behind Shilov's net. He'll skate it up to center ice. Stretch pass ahead looking for Chinikov, but it got broken up by Colorado. Pumped back over the near side for Brent Burns, playing in his 991st consecutive game. Now Brock Nelson over the Penguins line. Chipped it back to the point. No one was there. Here's Malkin into the Colorado zone. Chipped away by Brent Burns, though, and it's taken back by Brock Nelson in the neutral zone. Ryan Shea sweeps the puck away from him. Colorado back in the Penguin zone. Kadri above the far circle. Curled around at the half wall. Malkin got it to Novak. He'll skate it up ice to the neutral zone. Novak over the Avs line. Down the middle of the blue line. Letang sends it towards the net. Blockered away by Blackwood. Goes over to the near side as it's scooped up by Nicholas Waugh. He got tied up by Gino. But the Avs still take it over the Penguins line. It's Waugh on the high slot to the far side for Drury. Centering pass to Waugh. He'll take it above the circle. Curl around at the point. Sends it rink wide to Belinsky up the near boards. Rister coming high of the net. Sailed off the glass in behind the net. Out of play. 2.5 minutes, or excuse me, 1 minute and a half gone in this second period. Penguins lead 4-2.
Something else, Joe, to keep in mind is just the altitude. I think it's obviously something every team that comes in here has to be ready for, but you know, talking with Tommy Novak before the game, he said, like, you have to take shorter shifts, be smart with your changes. You don't want to get stuck in the D zone because it takes it out of you maybe like 10, 15 seconds earlier. So as the Avs are pushing, they got to be mindful of that factor as well.
Second straight game for the Penguins with some higher elevation that they've been dealing with. Being in Utah the other night. And again, we'll wrap up this road trip in Carolina on Wednesday. Penguins win the draw. They work it out of their zone, but cough it up in the neutral zone. Now it's stolen back by Noel Acciari. He'll take it over the Avs line near side to the corner. And behind Blackwood's net. Works it over to the far corner. Crunched into the boards by his former teammate, Brett Kulak. Elmer Soderblom will shovel it back down along the end boards, and the Penguins get a change. 4-2 the Penguins lead. A little over 2 minutes gone in the second period as Colorado chips it down to the Penguins' end. Connor Clifton plays it and takes a couple of hits from Parker Kelly. Ben Kindle escapes it out to Solovyov. He sent it ahead to Brazeau. It was out of his reach, though. Goes down into the Avs zone. Swung back along the boards by Malinsky. Chipped out to the neutral zone. Erik Karlsson knocks it down after a couple of bounces. Sets up in the Penguin zone. Now snaps a pass ahead to Ville Koivunen. He'll sweep it down to the Colorado zone far corner. Malinsky Wheels it up to the near half wall. Wotherspoon shakes the puck off of McKinnon, chipped it down. Then Kindle tried to juggle it in behind the goal line. It gets worked up to the far boards for Natchez. He'll escape it out to Brett Kulak. Slid ahead back to Natchez over the Penguins line far side. Rink wide into Chuskin in the near circle. Turnaround move towards the crease. Couldn't get a shot off. Parker Wotherspoon takes the loose puck. Saucers it up ahead to Brian Rust in the neutral zone. He's over the Avs line near side. Down to the corner. One arms it towards the goal line. Got it over to Ricard Raquel. Now back to Rust in the corner. He sweeps it over to the far side for Erik Karlsson. At the point. Sends it down low to Rust. Past him. Jumped over to the near corner. Up the boards as it's kept alive by Wotherspoon, but right to the stick of Josh Manson. He got stripped of the puck, Ricard Raquel. Drop back pass to Rust near point. They'll shovel it down to the corner. It bounced off of Manson. McKinnon takes it the other way. He accelerates over the Penguins line right down the middle, defended by Shea. Peels back. Natchez in the slot. Fought off by Artur Shilovs with the blocker save. And a whistle blown. There's going to be a penalty on the Penguins.
And I thought they did a pretty good job of defending the Avalanche in transition. But when you're tracking back, Mantha's stick, it looks like got caught up in Josh Manson to where he lost his stick. And he'll take a seat in the box.
So it's Mantha in the box for holding. It's the third power play for the Colorado Avalanche tonight. The Penguins are 2 for 2 on the PK. Again, Colorado's power play, 29 in the league coming into tonight. Face off to the right of Shilovs. And the Avs control. Makar at the far point. Walks the blue line high slot above the far circle for Natchez. Down low to McKinnon. He peels it up to the circle. Makar, a wrister, blocked through traffic. Achari swept it up to Connor Clifton. He'll take it over to the far side of the neutral zone, take his time, and then chip it right on net. That Blackwood steers wide. 20 seconds gone on the Penguins PK. They lead 4-2 with 4 minutes gone in this second period. Colorado back in the Penguin zone. Makar, wrister, and a glove save by Shilovs, snaring it out of midair. 1:32 to go on the Penguins penalty kill. They lead 4-2 with 4 minutes gone in this second.
I mean, Artur Shilovs is just locked in right now. And it's so much fun to watch him come up with save after save after save, especially down a man. Always say, Joe, goalie has to be your best penalty killer, and they're going to need him to keep standing tall as the Avs are trying to get within a goal here with the Penguins holding that 4-2 lead.
Again, the Penguins with the best penalty kill on the road this year in the NHL. Makar in the high slot. They send it over to Kadri at the near point. Down to the corner for McKinnon at the hash marks. Now to the goal line in behind Shilov's net. Sweeps it back up to Kadri at the half wall. Makar high slot. Comes to the near side. Wrister wide of the net. Bounced off the end boards. Kicked up and out by the Penguins. Puck rolls on edge into the Colorado zone. Pushed up by Blackwood to Makar.
And that was a nice poke check by Artur Shilovs to allow his defenseman to get that clear. So great awareness there by Shilovs.
Final minute of the Penguins penalty kill. Colorado back in the Penguins zone. Up to Makar, far point. Down to McKinnon at the half wall. Left for Natchez at the hash marks. Inside the circle. Pass got blocked by Karlsson. Kept alive. Brian Rust pokes it out to the neutral zone and then kicks it down to Colorado zone. 40 seconds to go on the Penguins penalty kill. They lead 4-2 with 5 minutes gone in this second. Drop back pass. It's taken by Brindley. He'll take it over the Penguins line. Second unit out here for the Avs. Down to the corner for Brindley. Brings it over to the far side. Swept over to the half wall. Nichushkin with it. Back down to Brindley. Back to Nichushkin at the half boards. The high slot for Brent Burns. To Nichushkin again at the far point. Poked away by Noel Acciari. 15 to go on the Penguins PK. Colorado has to reset once again. Ahead to Nichushkin. He's over the Penguin line near side. Leaves it for Taves inside the near circle. Down to the corner below the goal line. Pitched up to the point. Burns couldn't keep it onside. Mantha standing up in the box. He's out of there. We're back to 5-on-5. Penguins with a 2-goal lead here in this second period. Artur Shilovs played the dump in, pitched it over to the near corner, and now Connor Dewar skates it up ice. Trying to get it back to Mantha, but Nichushkin stole it away for Colorado. He's over the Penguins line, flips it to Waugh, near half wall. Pitched up to the point. It's handled by Malinsky to the high slot. It's Kulak. Wrister coming wide of the net. Over to the far corner. Nichushkin collects the long rebound. Sends it over to the near corner. Ryan Shea out muscles Kiviranta for the puck and now brings it up ice on the near side. Flips it down to the Colorado zone far corner. Chased after by Kulak. Penguins get a change. Over 6 minutes gone in this second period. Penguins with a 4-2 lead. All of the goals scored in this game came in the first period. Colorado dumps it down to the Penguins' end, spins around the boards, goes over to the far one. Evgeny Malkin played it to Letang. He had to pitch it off the end boards as Solovyov angled it out to the neutral zone, but it was stolen away by Drury. Now it's lost in the high slot of the Penguin zone. Nichushkin with it, 2-on-1, stripped away by Ilya Solovyov, the former Avalanche. Tommy Novak tried to go for a stretch pass ahead to Evgeny Malkin, but it was taken away by Blankenberg of Colorado. In behind the net, Solovyov taps it along the near boards. Tommy Novak fighting for it. Solovyov clears it all the way down, but that'll be icing. And with 13:06 to go in the second period, Penguins still hanging on to a 4-2 lead over the Avalanche, being outshot 19-8 in this game.
What a defensive play by Solovyov, who said this morning he hasn't been happy with his play the last few games, and he just wanted to bring his best tonight. It wasn't about, playing his old team or anything like that. He just wanted to focus and be strong. And that was something where I believe as Igor Chinakhov lost his footing, and so it was just Solovyov back. He was able to break up the play, read it correctly. Really strong read there by Solovyov.
Solovyov with 16 games with the Colorado Avalanche this year before being traded. And playing against his former team with the Penguins for the first time this season. Avs dump it into the Penguin zone. Shilovs will play it, slide it in behind his net to Solovyov. Kadri got tangled up with the Penguins goaltender as Solovyov's outlet pass went awkwardly off of Tommy Novak. He pitches it down to the Avs zone. Evgeny Malkin plays it down to the ice. Chinakhov with it, overskated the puck for a moment. Tommy Novak gets it back to Chinakhov, though. Flipped over to Malkin. Carlson, one-timer wide of the net. Long bounce off the end boards. Played over to the near point. Parker Wotherspoon tried to send it deep, but Colorado works it up to the neutral zone on the stick of Marty Necas. Flips it over to McKinnon. He'll walk the blue line high slot. Take it downstairs to Kadri, near circle. Looks for a centering pass. Can't. Pass goes off the skate of Tommy Novak. Cleared it up to the far point now for Makar. Makar works it down to the near half wall for Kadri. Chipped down to the corner for McKinnon. He gets punched into the boards by Parker Wotherspoon. Penguins escape with the puck out towards center ice on the stick of Chinakhov. They'll flip it down to the Avs end as Blackwood will play it.
Joe, the Penguins are just all over the Avs, not giving them a whole lot in the offensive zone, which is exactly what you want to see. Take away that time and space, and the Penguins are doing that to a T.
Only 2 shots on goal for the Avs in this second period, 9 minutes in. The Penguins only have one of their own, but you're right. Kind of handcuffing Colorado at what they do best for the time being. 4-2 the Penguins lead, 11:30 to go in this second period. Dump in by Colorado is chased down by Connor Clifton. They'll work it to the near corner for Ryan Shea, who pumps it around the near boards. Anthony Mantha sweeps it out to the neutral zone. No one was there, though. Colorado coughed it up off the stick of Ricard Raquel. Now they take it back in front of the Avs bench. Send it down to the Penguins end, but Ryan Shea collects. Ryan Rust helps angle it into Colorado zone with no icing. Flipped over to the far side. Rust keeps it onside at the far point. Will wheel it along the boards. Kindle at the near corner. Goes tumbling along the near wall. Worked over to the far side. Malinsky races it down past Brazeau. Gets it out to the neutral zone, but then Chris Letang will send it the other way. Rink wide pass to Kindle. He's over the Avs line in the near circle. Centering pass Solovyov, a wrister, and a glove save by Blackwood. Well, Ilya Solovyov just with the second shot on goal for the Pens in this second period, but a 2-goal lead over the Colorado Avalanche. Just a little under 11 minutes to go in the second. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
It's hockey night in Pittsburgh, starring a lineup of Ford MVPs here to take on the ice.
The Bronco family and Explorer putting a twist on the classics. And the Mach-E, can I just say, it's electrifying.
Absolutely, Blink, and you'll miss the Ford Mustang.
And the Ready for Anything F-Series, best-selling trucks in Pittsburgh.
Wow, I'd hate to go up against this team.
Ford, the official car, truck, and SUV of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Pittsburgh-based EQT Corporation is the top natural gas producer in the United States and is a proud sponsor of the Pittsburgh Penguins' pathway to net zero. EQT is an industry leader in cutting emissions and using our region's clean resources to replace dirtier sources of energy overseas. EQT and the Penguins are focused on achieving key climate goals and reducing emissions across Pittsburgh and beyond. Visit EQT.com to learn more about how EQT is moving towards the future and setting the standard for production of affordable, reliable, and clean energy.
Dear team, thanks for showing up for me with the best face paint.
and taunting the other team in the kindest way. For standing on your seat when I need the support and screaming until your throat hurts because you know it makes a difference. For wearing my number. For being the best teammates a player could ask for. At Highmark, we're proud to be cheering alongside the best teammates. Fans like you. Because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Official health plan of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Penguins still with a 4-2 lead over the Colorado Avalanche in a much more composed second period than the first one. All 6 goals happening in the first 20 minutes. There have been just 4 shots on goal total in the first 10 minutes of the second period.
Yeah, it has calmed down a lot. Not that it was necessarily super chaotic in the first period. It just felt like the Penguins were getting some great A's and capitalizing. But like you said, only a couple shots for the Penguins, but I like their play defensively. They're not giving up a whole lot, so now it's just like, how do we start to generate more offense off that defense? And we'll see if they can start doing that.
Penguins win a draw in Colorado's zone. They get it to Shea, far point. Shot goes wide of the net, bounces up to the near half boards as Kiviranta works it up to the neutral zone. Brent Burns over the Penguins line. Shot on net, saved by Shelov's. Long rebound and swept wide. Ryan Shea tangled up with Burns, maybe forcing the puck wide of the net. Colorado still got it, though. Kiviranta fires a shot right off the shin pad of Chris Letang. Works over to the near point. Penguins trying to force it out of their zone as Koivunen is wrapped up with Drury along the near boards. Colorado chips it down to the corner. Kindle comes away with it in behind Shelov's net. Will bring it up towards the neutral zone with a nifty play to get around Drury. As it's sent into Colorado's zone, Kindle takes the puck away. Down to the near corner. Crunched into the boards by Drury again. Now Nola Chari comes in there for some help. Almost dug the puck free, but they fight for it again along the near boards. Drury at the corner, flips it out to the neutral zone. And it's taken away by Parker Kelly. He'll pitch it down to the Penguins' end. Tumbles to the near side of Shelov's net. Carlson settles it down. Colorado gets a change as Carlson surveys the area. Takes it up ice over to the far side. Rink wide to Shea. Over the Colorado zone, he'll fling it down around the boards. Goes all the way up to the far point for Carlson. To the half wall. Shot on net. They score! Nola Chari camped in front. It's Elmer Soderblom possibly getting the last touch. It's a 5-2 lead for the Penguins, and Erik Karlsson starts the handshake line. Who knows who scored, but the Penguins lead by 3 again.
Erik Karlsson, what else can you say about the season that he's been having for the Pittsburgh Penguins? He has just been doing it all. Even strength, power play, penalty kill, just using his skill across all 200 feet of the ice. You know, that puck was rimmed around. And Soderblom, I don't know if he purposely let it go to the points to Karlsson or if it just happened that way, but that's the guy you want to see with the puck on his stick. He does not disappoint. The Penguins find another goal, 5-2 over Colorado. This is awesome stuff here by Pittsburgh.
The Pittsburgh fan base is here and represented quite well. The Let's Go Pens chants erupting once again here at Ball Arena. 5-2, the Penguins lead. 9 minutes to go in the second. Brock Nelson takes the puck over to the far side, works it up to the point. Shot on net, deflected wide. Waugh takes it below the goal line. This is going to be a penalty on the Penguins, and I think it's going to be an Artur Shelov.
It is. He's just trying to battle, and, you know, as a goaltender, you're trying to... There's a lot of little things you can do to slow the opposition down, and he just gets caught, and the Penguins will be shorthanded.
2 minutes stripping.
The Penguins shorthanded for the 4th time tonight. They're 3 for 3 on the PK. They lead by 3. 5-2 Pens with about 9 minutes to go in the second on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
The best teams, the biggest moments. It's the UEFA Champions League on Sirius XM FC. A masterclass in Madrid gave Real a 3-goal advantage.
Into Valverde for the hat-trick!
Can Man City turn the tide and pull off a historic upset?
Erling Haaland fires one into the left-hand corner!
Manchester City, Real Madrid, tomorrow at 4 Eastern on Sirius XM FC, channel 157 in the car and the Sirius XM app.
We deliver the NHL.
With Brandon Busty of the Carolina Hurricanes.
Did it ever cross your mind saying, like, hey, it's going to be a tough journey to the NHL? And, your mentality was, you know what, I'm just going to trust the process?
In hockey, opportunity comes in very different ways and at different times. My opportunity came now. The team in front of me has been unbelievable. They're the main reason for my success. It's fun to be a part of.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91.
Feel the pulse-pounding drama of the UEFA Champions League knockout stage on Sirius XM FC. The stakes are raised as Europe's elite.
Real Madrid do what they do best. A five-star show from Manchester City. What a start for Inter.
Battle in a quest for club soccer's ultimate prize.
This is the place where dreams come true.
This is where legends are made. The Champions League knockout stage on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
Well, the best penalty kill on the road in the NHL will try to stay perfect tonight. Fourth power play for the Colorado Avalanche. The Penguins lead 5-2 in this second period, 8:49 left in it. And we're going to face off to the right of Artur Shilovs in the Penguin zone. Igor Chinakhov will serve the penalty that was committed by Shilovs for tripping. Nola Chari against Brock Nelson, and Ryan Shea gets the puck first along the corner. Can't clear it just yet, though. Sandwiched around a couple of blue sweaters, and Colorado can't handle the pass. Cale Makar has to race back into his own zone to take the idle puck. Nazem Kadri, yeah, he's back with the Avs in between the penalty boxes. Works it over to McKinnon, who flies into the Penguin zone to Kadri at the near half wall. Pitched up to Makar in the high slot. Back to Kadri at the point. Curls around. Shovels down to the corner for McKinnon. Below the circle. Here's Makar, one-timer. Didn't get through traffic. Second attempt goes wide on a Natchez backhand. Colorado still with it. Natchez broke his stick on that attempt. Maybe that's what didn't steer it in the back of the net. Colorado with it. McKinnon, centering pass, wide of the net. Fought off by Shilovs. Connor Dewar tried to clear it, but down to his knees. Kadri with an outstretched right hand kept it onside. McKinnon along the blue line to Makar at the near point. 1 minute to go on the Penguins PK. Down low they go to Kadri at the corner. Flipped up to Makar, high slot, shovels, fires, blocked by Nola Chari, and cleared down by Nola Chari.
That's what he does. Huge block by Nola Chari to send that puck the length of the ice.
45 seconds to go on the Penguins PK. They lead 5-2 with 7.5 to play in the second. Colorado can't get into the Penguins zone again. Rickard Rakell clears it down. Cale Makar scoops it up behind his own net. Pitches it back to Nichushkin as the second unit comes out now for Colorado. Nichushkin over the near side of the Penguin zone. Down to the corner, he chases after it, works it up the boards to Devontaes. At the point, sent to the high slot for Brent Burns. Above the far circle now for Brindley. Curls around to the slot. Rister high of the net. Nichushkin collects the rebound, sends it off the end boards, works it over to the far corner. Defended by Carlson. He'll one-arm poke it to the neutral zone. Rickard Rakell takes it over the Avs line. Lead pass looking for Carlson, but it was broken away by Burns. 2 seconds to go on the Penguins PK. Chinakhov standing up. He's out of the box. We're back to 5-on-5. 4 penalties killed off by the Penguins in this game. They lead 5-2 in the second. 6:40 to go as it's chipped down to the Penguins' end far corner. Chinakhov tried to play keep away from Nichushkin. He was looking at Malkin across ice as Ryan Shea also looks to do the same. And this is going to be a penalty on Colorado. Ryan Shea draws the penalty on the Avs, and now the Penguins will get a power play. The official waited no time to make the hooking call. 6.5 to play in the second. Penguins lead 5-2, and they're back on the power play.
Oh, yeah, that's about as black and white as it gets. Ryan Shea drawing that penalty after playing a role on that PK. And, Joe, Nola Chari would not be outworked on that penalty kill. There were at least 2 instances where the puck goes in the Penguins' corner. He's able to help work it out. Penguins get some momentum from that they can build on here with this man advantage.
Penguins 0 for 1 on the power play so far tonight, as Colorado controls and clears it up and out of play. Just 4 seconds gone on the Penguins power play. They lead 5-2 with 6.5 to go in this second period.
You know, when Ryan Shea got taken down, he did have Chinakhov, or I believe it was Malkin, who was ready to be sprung, wasn't able to make that pass, but did draw the penalty to give the Penguins a power play.
Kenny Malkin on hat-trick watch. He had 2 goals in the first period. There's a fight for the puck in the near corner. Chinakhov comes away with it. Ricard Raquel tried to sweep it home, but it went wide. Flipped up to the far point, but out to the neutral zone. Erik Karlsson has to settle it down. He'll bring it all the way back to the Penguin zone. Karlsson scoring in the second period to give the Penguins a 3-goal lead. It was his 7th goal of the year. Now he's got it high slot in the Avs zone to the far circle. For Mantha, he'll sweep it low for Malkin in the far circle. Rust, one-timer fought off by Blackwood. Cleared up, not out. Karlsson keeps it alive. Wrister and a glove save by Blackwood with 2 huge stops on the Penguins' power play. 5-2 Pens. Just under 6 minutes to go in the second. 1:20 on the Penguins' man advantage.
And that one on Brian Rust, that's a heck of a save. Because Rust has to get it off quick. He goes down on one knee to get the one-timer off, thinking maybe he can catch Blackwood before he gets over, but Blackwood didn't give him a whole lot to shoot at, and it's tough to really get the elevation on it when you're shooting it that quick. But a great look there for Brian Rust.
Brian Rust with a power play goal Saturday night in Utah. The Penguins had a couple. And again, the 4th best power play in the NHL, but here comes Colorado in the Penguin zone. Brock Nelson stripped of the puck. Luckily, it was a 3-on-2 for the Avs. Malkin will take it to the neutral zone, get it to Karlsson. Now Raquel over the Avs line, right down the middle of the blue line. Karlsson in the near circle, down to the corner. At the half wall, he gets it up to Brian Rust. He'll take it down to the corner, then curl around. Karlsson at the point, 50 seconds to go on the Penguins' power play. Over to the point, to Malkin, to Karlsson again, along the blue line. Wrister coming, fought off by Blackwood. Rebound to the far circle. Brock Nelson's got it, he'll clear it down.
And Mantha is staying. He's on that top power play unit with Malkin back. Chinakhov's moved to the second unit. So you have some good threats with Chinakhov and Malkin ready to tee up those one-timers.
Justin Brazeau returning to the lineup tonight as well. He also returns to the second power play unit as Tommy Novak fights for the puck in behind the Avs net, but it's cleared out by Colorado. Less than 20 seconds to go on the Penguins' power play. They lead 5-2 with 4:44 to go in the second period. Chris Letang sends a stretch pass to Brazeau, who threaded it over to Chinakhov near half wall. Couldn't handle the pass. Colorado clears it to the neutral zone again. Parker Kelly will collect at center ice over the Penguins line. Far circle, gets past Letang, but can only go to the corner. He got it to Natchez. He'll curl around at the corner, at the hash marks. Above the circle, he leaves it for McKinnon. He's on the ice, off the bench. Centering pass, we get a whistle blown here. Is there too many men on the ice? The penalty had expired for Colorado.
Everywhere you go, download the NHL app and never miss a moment.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
The latest news of the night.
Svechnikov and now Hamilton. Back for Andre. He's in for a shot. He scores!
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
At UPMC Hillman Cancer Center, we believe cancer care shouldn't just be good enough. It should be life-changing. As the region's only National Cancer Institute designated comprehensive cancer center, we provide groundbreaking treatments and innovative clinical trials with renowned cancer specialists and a compassionate support system for patients and their families. Discover more at upmchillman.com/lifechanging.
Spun around the board, Sid to Brian Rust. Tough angle shot. He scores! Rusty Shakes are back, Pittsburgh.
50% off at the Milkshake Factory.
You heard that right, Pittsburgh. Brian Rust here letting you know that I'm bringing back Pittsburgh's #1 milkshake. Rusty's Shake is a rich chocolate shake with oven-baked brownies, crushed cookies and cream, and hot fudge topped with whipped cream and a chocolate 17. When you hear this, come down to the Milkshake Factory for half-off shakes.
4:20 to go in the second period in a very high-energy hockey game here in Colorado. The Penguins with a 5-2 lead over the Avs, and they're back on the power play. Face off the left of Mackenzie Blackwood. Malkin to take the draw. against Nicholas Waugh. Malkin gets kicked out of there. Ricard Raquel will take over. Drop of the puck, and Colorado controls. Brent Burns clears it up along the near boards, but Brian Rust sweeps it deep to Malkin and behind the net over to the far corner now. Waugh gets in front of it. Malkin kicked it to the circle, but then Colorado clears it down. 1:45 to go on the Penguins' man advantage. They're 0 for 2 on the power play so far tonight. And too many men will send Gavin Brindley to the box for Colorado. Erik Karlsson at the far point sends it rink wide to Mantha. He leaves it for Malkin, who left it for Mantha. Wasn't maybe ready for it. Colorado takes it the other way. Manson over the Penguins line, right down the middle of it to Kelly. Pass stolen away by Ricard Raquel. He'll get it to Malkin. Stretch pass to Rust in the Colorado zone. He scores! Another power play goal for Brian Rust. And the Penguins grab a 4-goal lead here in Colorado.
Big game, Brian Rust delivering another huge goal for the Pittsburgh Penguins. He has been unstoppable these last few games. He wanted that pass from Evgeny Malkin. He was open in the neutral zone. We're watching up here. We see him. You want Gino to find a way to get him that puck. He does. Brian Rust skates in, shoots, scores. Penguins are up 6-2 against the best team in the NHL. What a performance by these Penguins.
25th goal of the season for Brian Rust. Playing in his 698th career game and a 6-2 lead for the Penguins here in Colorado. 3:30 to go in the second period. Chris Letang skates it up ice and dumps it down to the Avs zone near corner. So Evgeny Malkin now with 2 goals and an assist in his first game back. And the Avs are offside. 3:17 to go in this second period. Penguins lead by 4.
I was talking to Russ today, and I just said, we know what we're going to get from you every single night. You bring it every single night. How do you get ready to do that? And he said it's the routine of it all. He said partially being superstitious, partially because it helps mentally. Like when you focus on what you have to do, it just helps keep your brain in the right spot. And so he just, eats his peanut M&Ms. He kicks the soccer ball. He gets to the meeting 5 minutes early. All of these things add up to what we're seeing from him. Another huge goal. He's just been terrific for the Penguins.
Well, when you think about Brian Rust, it's hard to not describe him in anything that labels him other than a workhorse. Because he didn't come up with the Penguins as this high prospect. He was a guy that took advantage of his opportunities that Mike Sullivan gave him on a Stanley Cup team. And he has really worked his way to create quite an identity on this Penguins roster.
He's just willed himself into becoming the player that he is, a top 6 scoring winger who wears an A when one of the leaders is out, and just a 2-time Stanley Cup champion.
Penguins back in the Avs zone, but they cough it up to the neutral zone. 2.5 to play in the second period. It's 6-2 Penguins. Tommy Novak chips it along the far boards. Malkin fetches it. Took a shot from behind, no whistle blown as Karlsson will send it deep. Chinakhov in behind Colorado's net, brings it up to the near circle. Works it towards the point, out of the reach of Parker Wotherspoon. He'll collect in the neutral zone. Get it over to Erik Karlsson with 2 minutes to go in this second period. Penguins lead by 4.
And Malkin takes that cross check, just gets up, skates away. No extra emotion. It's what you want to see from Gino. Just stay on the right side of that line. He needs to play with that passion, so it makes him who he is, but just got to do it smart.
Now, don't forget, he committed a penalty 48 seconds into this game, came out of the box, scored the first goal, then scored another, and then picked up an assist. And yes, that is Let's Go Pens that you hear here at Ball Arena. Plenty of black and gold here in the Rocky Mountain State as the Avs dump it down to the Penguins zone again. 1:30 to go in this second period. 6-2 the Penguins lead. Worked along the near boards. Koivunen gets it up to Kindle. He'll skate it through the neutral zone over the Avs line. Far side. Got it to Brazeau at the circle. Tough angle shot. Fought off by Blackwood and cleared down by Colorado. This will be icing. 1:14 to go in the second period. Penguins lead by 4.
Well, building the future takes grit, and no one does grit like Pittsburgh. EQT is ready to unleash the build and power America's next big win. And like you said, Joe, what support from the Pittsburgh faithful here in Denver. Best fans in hockey.
They've been following us. Great turnout in Utah on Saturday. There's a wrister from Letang. Didn't get through traffic. Ricard Raquel fights the puck away from Drury. We'll bring it to the half wall, send it down to the corner for Brian Rust. But yeah, Carolina, Vegas, Utah, now here in Colorado. They have been here everywhere we've gone. One more road game on Wednesday in Carolina to wrap up the road trip as the Avs are offside again. 54 seconds to go in the second period. Penguins lead by 4.
And I know many of them were probably hoping to see Sidney Crosby. All of us are waiting for that to happen. He's been skating with the team. He's up in the press box here at Ball Arena right now watching the guys. So, you know, it's obviously something you don't want to rush. You want him back when he's fully good to go. But I'm sure he's watching this game. Might not be smiling on the outside, but I'm sure internally seeing the way the Penguins are playing in his absence and really how they've been playing in all of the games that he's missed.
Yeah, he has been out on the ice every morning skate on this road trip. But he has been taking line rushes with Kevin Hayes and every day until today, Evgeny Malkin. So we'll keep a close eye on the morning skate Wednesday in Carolina. But for right now, the Penguins doing a good job holding a 6-2 lead over the Colorado Avalanche. With 20 seconds to go in this second period. Avs drop it down to the far corner. Letang couldn't clear it. Now Mantha will get it up towards center ice. Over the Avs line, near side. He fires wide of the net. Got deflected, sailed out of play. 7 seconds to go in the second period. Penguins lead 6-2.
Anthony Mantha just staying red hot, even getting a couple new line mates in this game. I mean, he's just finding ways to score, and even with Evgeny Malkin coming back, you know, he picked up a lot of slack, and it's good to see him keeping that foot on the gas and still finding a way to put the puck in the net.
He's just gotten better as this year has gone along. And whether that's confidence, whether that's a combination of both, it's worked out. And so have the first 40 minutes here in Denver. The Penguins with a 6-2 lead over the Colorado Avalanche. Outscoring the Avs 2-0 in this second period. Erik Karlsson, his 7th goal of the year, unassisted. Brian Rust with his 25th of the year, a power play goal. Evgeny Malkin with the primary assist. Gino with 3 points in this game, and the Penguins with a 4-goal lead over the Avs through 40 minutes.
Just all business, Joe, especially in the second period. You build that lead, and you think, all right, the Avs are going to come back, push hard. They played so strong defensively, just so much calm, so much poise, and found another couple goals. I mean, you really can't ask for more, and some tremendous goaltending there, too, from Archer Shilovs.
That's a great point. Yeah, Shilovs has had a great game tonight. Not much pressure from Colorado in that second period, but because of what you said, the Penguins really buckling down on their defense, not allowing a lot for the Avalanche, because 17 shots on goal in the first period. I mean, that is quite an adjustment. We'll take a break. Brian Metzer has our second intermission report for us, along with a chat with our own Michelle Crecchiolo. It's all here on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Ford F-Series are the best-selling trucks in Pittsburgh for 11 years running. So it's no wonder that Pittsburgh's favorite hockey team choose Ford as their go-to vehicles. Yep, that's right. Your favorite team meets our favorite team. That's a stacked roster if you ask us. Ford, the official car, truck, and SUV of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Only from your neighborhood Ford store.
Protecting your assets should not be. When it comes to insurance, employee benefits, or surety bonding, rely on the industry experts at Suber to help you minimize risk, maximize potential, and improve your bottom line. Suber, an official partner of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Kimberly-Clark Professional is proud to be a champion sustainability partner of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Together, they are driving change to help reduce impact through a commitment to sustainable products and services. Learn more at kcprofessional.com/sustainability.
Pittsburgh-based EQT Corporation is the top natural gas producer in the United States and is a proud sponsor of the Pittsburgh Penguins' pathway to net zero. EQT is an industry leader in cutting emissions and using our region's clean resources to replace dirtier sources of energy overseas. EQT and the Penguins are focused on achieving key climate goals and reducing emissions across Pittsburgh and beyond. Visit EQT.com to learn more about how EQT is moving towards the future and setting the standard for production of affordable, reliable, and clean energy.
Dear team, thanks for showing up for me with the best face paint and taunting the other team in the kindest way. For standing on your seat when I need the support and screaming until your throat hurts because you know it makes a difference. For wearing my number. For being the best teammates a player could ask for. At Highmark, we're proud to be cheering alongside the best teammates. Fans like you. Because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Official health plan of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
This is the Penguins Live Intermission Report.
And welcome into our second intermission report where the Penguins have opened up and maybe inexplicable to some 6-2 lead over the Colorado Avalanche, but that is exactly who the Penguins have been this season, playing their best hockey against some of the best teams in the league. Brian Metzer back here with you, and Penguins were in the box a handful of times in the period, as were the Avalanche, and on one of those penalties for the Avs, the Penguins made them pay. They were able to kill off the ones that they needed to. It was penalties to Mantha and Shilovs on the Avs side. It was Waugh, and then a too many men on the ice penalty at 15:40, which is the one that the Penguins got a power play goal on, but they got an early goal earlier in the period at 10:36. Erik Karlsson, who has just been playing outstanding hockey, put a puck through traffic and got that into the goal to give the Penguins a 5-2 lead. But then the power play goal came. Evgeny Malkin finds Brian Rust with a cross-ice pass to spring Rust into the zone for his 25th of the season. It was a one-on-one play with Mackenzie Blackwood. Came at 16:20. Gino and Raquel with the helpers there. And overall, the shots not that intense in that period. Only 12 combined. Penguins managed 8 of them. They held the Avs to just 4. And they're still being outshot for the game 21-15, but they've been really solid in limiting the opportunities, even though the Avs are still getting some quality without a ton of quantity. Overall, though, as we mentioned, 6-2, the Penguins lead this hockey game. Evgeny Malkin having a game, as are Rust and Mantha. When we come back, Hockey Talk with Michelle Crecchiolo. You hear it next on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
Want to rack up some points? Join number 1 Cochrane Club One Rewards and turn your vehicle into a scoring machine. You'll earn points with every dollar spent on service and can redeem points for dollars off a new vehicle or future service. Plus, save on gas and rental cars with our valuable partner perks. Score your free membership now at clubonerewards.cochrane.com. Number 1 Cochrane, official auto group of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Hi, I'm Marcus Leto. I'm the co-creator of the Halo universe and the creator of the Master Chief. Kent State really taught me to think like a designer, not just to build visuals, but to build worlds. I mean, that was all this fire in my belly that I just wanted to kind of create something that was different. The program here really helped give me the tools to enter the workforce, and I still look back to Kent State as a foundation that allows me now to do the kind of stuff that I can do.
Parents, looking for something fresh this spring? If your child loves sports or needs a fun challenge, Little Penguins Learn to Play Hockey is the perfect fit. It's for beginners ages 5 to 9 at ice rinks across Western PA. They'll learn teamwork, make friends, build confidence, and equipment is included. Spring sessions start soon and spots fill fast. Sign up now at nhl.com/penguins/learn to play. Let's go, Pens.
What is life-changing medicine? Is it returning to the playing field or your favorite hiking path after an injury? Or running with your grandkids after a joint replacement? At UPMC, life-changing medicine is all those things. Through innovative research, rehabilitation, and advanced surgical procedures, our experts get you back to what you love doing. UPMC, changing healthcare, changing lives. Life-changing medicine.
This is the Penguins Live Intermission Report.
Penguins ahead of the Avs 6-2 after 2 periods of play at Ball Arena. Brian Metzer back here with you, and now join me live from Ball Arena. It's our good buddy Michelle Crecchiolo. And Mish, I said this to Kongursky earlier in the game when we talked. I'm not sure I had this type of game on the bingo card, but pretty awesome for the Penguins to roll it up with 6 goals tonight on the road.
That's what I love about this team. I feel like the story is that they're going to write their own story regardless of what anyone on the outside thinks about them.
Yep.
And this is just another chapter where, you know, there's just a lot of doubt that they can come out and win a game against a wagon like the Colorado Avalanche, such a such a tremendous team, best in the NHL. And I just feel like this Penguins team loves proving people wrong and, finding a way to win or play well in these games that, maybe most people think they might not have the best chance. So, we saw it in Edmonton, Mets. I think that's another game where they came out and just put forth a dominant effort where you thought, you're going up against a team that's been to the Stanley Cup final 2 years in a row, and they have the best player in the world. And there's just so many factors that can lead you to believe, like, all right, this might be a tough night. And here come the Penguins just putting forth a terrific effort. So it's a credit to them. It's a credit to the coaching staff. It's a credit to everyone behind the scenes. And I know I've said that before, but it's so true. It really is. I look over and I see Rich Rotenberg, who's kind of in charge of performance, and I'm sure he's doing so much to make sure these guys are handling the altitude well, and that they're not getting too out of breath. Just all these little things that come together in a game like this.
Yeah, it's a good call by you talking about dealing with the altitude. It's essentially 3 games in altitudes that are above what the players are used to. So to have them go out and perform at the highest altitude here tonight with this showing, I have to say, is very impressive. And I've been saying this all year too, Mish. I don't think anyone told this team they weren't supposed to be good. There are people around the whole league talking about them still being a team that's going to miss the playoffs, etc. I don't have that vibe, and you got Gino back now, who's red hot. You got Sid waiting in the wings, who's probably close to getting back as well. They may just be a formidable force in the Eastern Conference now. I know there's some quality teams, but they're among them.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're a good hockey team. It's not like they're, hanging on by the skin of their teeth and just barely managing to win games or be in games. Like, they're a good team. And
he just held the Avs to 4 shots in a period.
Right, and that's we've seen that so many times throughout the year, and I think, it's okay, fine. Like, you can look at the roster on paper at the start of the year and say, okay, this team's going to be in the lottery and maybe, taking Gavin McKenna. But the way they've gone out and played, the way they've gelled, I feel like at this point they've put forth so much proof that they're a good hockey team. And you know what? And they've said it from the start. I was thinking about this today. Like, Anthony Mantha and his free agent availability after he signed said, this team has 4 of the best players of the last generation. They've done so much, and people talk rebuild. It might be, it might not be, but we're gonna go out and play our best and do everything we can to help this team win hockey games. And so many other guys said that publicly, and they believed in themselves. And so it's just been really cool to watch. It's such a cool story, Matt. It really is.
Yeah, I agree with you, and we're here for the ride. It's almost 70 games in. I think they are who they are at this point, which is a good team. But Mish, enjoy this third. We'll see if they can hold on. They blew a lead a couple years ago. They were up 4-0 to the Avs and lost 5-4 in OT. We don't want that tonight, so get it done for us, and we'll do this again in a couple days.
I can't wait, Matt. I will talk to you then.
All right, that is Michelle Crecchiolo doing a great job with Joe Brand out there at Ball Arena. When we come back, news from around the league on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. What the heck could it be?
It's your head coach.
Who is that?
That's Dan Muse. He is hungry.
My goodness.
He is hungry.
He is hungry.
To get a winning hockey team.
I'm at 4 o'clock in the morning. He's at 4 o'clock in the morning. You know what it says?
Blood going?
You know what it says to me,
What's
Phil?
that say to you?
It says 1, 2, 3.
What Richard and Phil are really trying to say is, your perfect Ford is already waiting. With over 1,500 vehicles in stock, from tough F-150s to family-friendly SUVs, there's a Ford in your future, and you can find it right now at Schultz Ford.
It takes real beer to quench real thirst, to give you real satisfaction. Iron City Beer is the perfect result of the skill and knowledge developed through 164 years in the business. Go on, grab one.
Take a break and come out with us tonight.
Not tonight, man.
Come on. You deserve a night out. You're going to miss out.
Miss out on what?
While you stayed home, they won big. They celebrated. They got the suite, stayed up all night, and made memories. And you weren't there. Some nights are too good to sit out. Rivers Casino. Don't miss the moment.
The Pittsburgh Penguins and Mitsubishi Electric have teamed up to transform the game day experience with the new state-of-the-art Diamond Vision video display system. See this display in action and find out why they are known as the makers of amazing by visiting MitsubishiElectric.com today. The Steel City knows a thing or two about winners. When it comes to environmental services, WM has been winning for over 50 years. We have over 45,000 MVPs on our roster across North America, from truck drivers to sales professionals and everything in between. And right now, we're looking for Pittsburgh area professionals to join our winning team because doing what's right for our planet is vital work. Best tackled together. We offer competitive pay, great benefits, and tons of other perks. Start your new career by visiting careers.wm.com. That's careers.wm.com.
This segment of the Penguins Live Intermission Report is brought to you by Smith's Hot Dogs, proud sponsor of the Penguins, and official hot dogs at PPG Paints Arena.
Penguins ahead of the Avalanche, 6-2 after 2 periods of play. Brian Metzer back here with you, and wanted to take a quick look around the league, with everything being so tight coming down the stretch here. As I mentioned to Michelle, we are nearing Game 70. It's so crazy to think we're that late in the season already. But the Red Wings were 5-2 winners over the Flames tonight. Patrick Kane with a couple of goals in that. DeBrincat with 3 assists. And that they needed that victory. The Devils 4-3 winners in overtime over the Boston Bruins. And the Rangers, Artemi Panarin returned with the Kings tonight. He ended up getting himself an assist in that hockey game. They won 4-1. The Kings did over the Rangers at MSG. And then the Mammoth up 6-3 winners over the Dallas Stars. So a couple of, games in the bag. Those Eastern Conference teams are jockeying for position on a night in and night out basis. Stag and I will recap the standings a little bit later tonight once everything is completely final. Coming back here next, though, third period action from Ball Arena with Joe Brand and Michelle Crecchiolo and the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
And the Oscar goes to...
Get closer to Hollywood's biggest night on the SiriusXM app. Explore exclusive interviews with Oscar nominees.
Joseph Kosinski, the director behind F1.
Deep dives into this year's Best Picture contenders.
His ability to tell a story and immerse an audience, it's real.
Post-show recaps and reactions from our pop culture pros and more.
I just got chills, babe.
Just search Oscars on the SiriusXM app for your award season fix.
NHL Morning Skate.
What's the big difference been for the New York Islanders this season?
Matthew Schaefer. Here Schaefer now passes Phil Housley for the most goals scored by an 18-year-old defenseman. The only other comparable I have right now, and I'm not saying he's going to have the Bobby Orr career, but he's got a great future ahead of him, is Bobby Orr to Matthew Schaefer.
NHL Morning Skate. Weekdays at 7 a.m. Eastern with Gord Stellick and Scott Laughlin. NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
Hey, Jim Rome here. What's cracking?
Hi.
Hope you're enjoying the game, and when you're not taking in a game, find us on Sirius Channel 161, XM Channel 206. In fact, we'll be there every weekday afternoon, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you've got something you want to break down from this game, you know where to find us. Just make sure you have a take and don't suck.
Step your game up.
That has never changed. In fact, the show has never changed. We're just back home, and it's great to be there. Sirius 161, XM 206. See you there.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM. Hockey lives here.
Suzuki sweeps it. There's a chance. Rebound, Caulfield shoots and scores.
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
The Penguins enter this third period in Colorado with a 4-goal lead. But 20 minutes, it was 20 minutes. The Colorado Avalanche have outscored their opponents by 35 goals in the final 20 minutes this season. They've scored 83, they've allowed 48. But the Penguins have already gotten through the top goaltender for Colorado, knocking Scott Wedgwood out of the contest in the first period. They scored 2 goals on Mackenzie Blackwood in the second, and they've got a 6-2 lead here in the third period at Ball Arena.
And I'm sure Dan Muse didn't say much, if anything, in that locker room during that intermission, because the Penguins did exactly what they needed to do. They stuck within their structure. They were responsible. They didn't chase too much. They only gave up 4 shots to a team that was trying to get back from that 2-goal deficit. They found 2 goals, 1 on the power play, 1 at even strength. It just felt like they checked every box, which is so hard to do against anyone, but especially this team. So now it's just keep doing what you're doing for 20 more minutes. You've done a fantastic job of it up to this point. Just keep it going all the way, and you'll hopefully be in a good spot.
Yeah, you're right. That second period might be the best period the Penguins have played this year.
Yeah.
When you take everything into account, outscoring the Colorado Avalanche 2-0, only allowing 4 shots on goal to the Avalanche. I mean, that's almost more impressive.
Right? Especially after that first where they gave up 17, and Artur Shilov's really had to battle. So it was real impressive from a Penguins team that has just, night after night, really just proved themselves to be a good hockey team.
So here we go, the final 20 minutes from Denver, Colorado. The Penguins now attacking from left to right in their road white sweaters. The Colorado Avalanche, dressed as the Quebec Nordiques tonight, attacking from right to left in all blue uniforms. Nathan MacKinnon wins the draw. Opening faceoff to begin this third is brought to you by number 1 Cochrane Club One Rewards. Avs are back in the Penguins zone, far wall at the circle. MacKinnon a drive wide of the net. Long rebound as the puck goes on edge to the neutral zone.
Looks like Wotherspoon caught something up high, and he was holding his face and kind of gesturing to the ref, so maybe a missed call there.
Colorado slings it back into the Penguins zone. Far corner, Brian Rust cuts it off along the wall, spits it up to Anthony Mantha. He has scored his 26th goal of the season in this game, a new career high for him. As it's dropped down to Colorado's zone, Blackwood plays it to Taves, who spits it over to the far side for Cale Makar. Now to Taves, cruising over the Penguins line. Tipped it back to Nicholas Waugh. He'll take it down to the corner of the Penguins zone. Got stripped by Evgeny Malkin. He tried to shovel it over to Novak, but it's taken away by Nazem Kadri. Far circle, the Penguins zone towards the crease. Had some trouble. Glove save by Artur Shilovs. Just snaring a wrister out of the air from Nazem Kadri and keeping the Penguins ahead by 4 in the opening minute of this third.
What a flourish there from Artie. Just a highlight reel save by the Penguins goalie. Kadri had some time and space, but the old razzle-dazzle with that glove save. Huge stop to keep that 4-goal lead.
Kadri just created space out of nowhere. Bringing the puck from the far circle to the near one. Now we get a face-off in the Penguins zone. Colorado wins it. Down to the near half wall. It's up to Manson. He'll fire one towards the net. Saved by Shilovs. Loose puck. And he's able to muscle a freezing action to keep the Penguins ahead by 4. They dragged him out of the crease, but Shilovs still able to keep his glove stamped on top of the puck.
He made the initial save. It's sitting there in front of his pad, and he reaches over with the glove to try to get that stop. And yeah, he was definitely pushed out a bit out of the crease, but was able to hang on.
Penguins poke it out to the neutral zone into Colorado's end. They slap it up along to center ice. Malkin had it for a moment, but it was poked away by Waugh. Colorado resets in their own zone, but a clearing attempt slowed down by Chris Letang. Now Waugh shovels it into the Penguin zone on the stick of Nelson. Down to the corner for Kadri. Pitches it back up looking for Nelson. Stolen away by Letang. He sends Nelson down to the ice. Nothing called. Flipped ahead to Malkin. He'll saucer it up to Igor Chinikov over the Avs line. Far side, slams it off the end boards. And it rebounded right to the far side of the cage that Blackwood stopped and froze. A little under 2 minutes gone in this third period. Penguins lead 6-2.
It almost looked like he was maybe trying to bank a pass to himself and try to win the foot race and get the shot, but just went to the side of the net. But I love seeing players try things like that. It means you're playing with confidence that you think you can execute, and just a little short.
Hard-working face-off win by the Penguins. Solovyov sends it towards the net, but it hit traffic, popped up, and skimmed the netting. Just under 2 minutes gone in this third period. Penguins working with a 4-goal lead over the Avs.
Joe, I just can't say enough about the support. That's a big part of the system under Dan Muse, where guys are playing united, playing connected, and just being there for each other, and especially in the defensive zone. And so far we've seen that in the first couple minutes of this game. The Penguins having each other's backs and getting some clears.
Colorado sends it out to the neutral zone, but the Penguins quickly get it back into the Avs end. Near corner, Brazeau going against Kulak, former teammates. Cleared out to the neutral zone, raced down by Jack Drury, poked away by Solovyov, tumbles into the Penguin zone as Connor Clifton sends a hard hit into Kiviranta along the far boards. Ville Koivunen pitches it back to Solovyov after taking a hard hit from Parker Kelly. But the Penguins have control as they'll get a change. Tommy Novak over the Avs line, near side. Takes it down to the corner, pulls up, tries to swing it up the boards. It got crunched into the wall by Marty Natchez. Noel Acciari will pump it over to the far point for Parker Wotherspoon. In behind the net, Acciari couldn't get it. Tumbles over to the near corner. Elmer Soderblom, who has his first goal as a Penguin, pitches it up to Carlson. Slings it rink wide to Wotherspoon towards the net, didn't get through traffic. McKinnon takes it the other way, gets it to Natchez near side of the neutral zone. He's over the Penguins line, pulls up at the point. Takes his time with it, shovels it down to the corner. McKinnon centering pass, Nichushkin a shot, saved by Shilovs, and it's poked up to the high slot. Natchez keeps it alive. McKinnon one-timer, blocked by Connor Dewar. Rebound to the far side. Acciari will take it to the neutral zone. Chip it up into the air. It's pawed down by Cal McCarr. He quickly gets it to McKinnon. Back to the Penguin zone as Parker Wotherspoon slams Nichushkin onto the ice and over to the boards to take the puck away as they clear it back over to Colorado's end.
You love seeing that from Parker Wotherspoon, just throwing the body around. He brings that physicality, just plays aggressive, plays hard, and you need to do that against this Colorado team.
3.5 minutes gone in this third period. Penguins lead by 4. Blankenberg, far point to the far half wall. Slid down to the corner as Bartikov takes it up along the boards. McCarr will send it deep again along the end boards for Brindley. Stripped away by the Penguins over to the near half boards. Now Ryan Shea will race after it behind Shilov's net, try to work it over to the far side. He does get it there, but Manson keeps it onside for Colorado. Works it to the high slot to the near side for Brent Burns. Wrister towards the net, deflected out of play. 4 minutes gone in this third period. Penguins still on top 6-2.
Well, Penguins fans, are you ready to get in the game? With over 100 games to choose from, it's time to play to win with the PA Lottery. Visit PALottery.com or download the app today. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
That's Michelle Crecchiolo. I'm Joe Brand. We're here at Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado, where the Penguins lead the Avalanche 6-2. Penultimate game of this road trip that we've dubbed the most important road trip in the Penguin season. It'll wrap up in Carolina on Wednesday. And boy, would a win here tonight make you feel good about this entire trip with where the Penguins are right now. But still a lot of hockey to be played. Penguins lead by 4. 15:50 to go in regulation. They work it into the Avs zone. Wotherspoon down to the far corner. In behind the net for Josh Manson, but it's pulled away by Igor Chinikov. He'll flip it back to Malkin. 2 goals tonight. In behind the net, and the net gets dislodged. Tommy Novak, I think, was pushed into the near post by Josh Manson. And that'll stop the action with 15.5 to go here in the third. Penguins up by 4.
Tommy Novak didn't have the best game against Vegas. He had a bad read on one of the goals and said he felt like he needed to come out and have a fast game after a less than ideal showing. Gets a big goal in Utah. Now he's back with Evgeny Malkin, Igor Chinikov. They had a lot of chemistry, Joe, and it's just been fun to watch these guys just kind of just go out and generate offense and just look good.
Yeah, it was immediate chemistry with those two once Igor Chinikov became a Pittsburgh Penguin. And in getting Malkin's first game after missing the last 5.5, really, with the suspension. And that chemistry is still there. And it's almost tangible. And it's flipped along the far corner. Malkin steals it to Novak, back door, but it was broken up by a diving Brent Burns. Burns takes it near corner, went off the skate of Malkin. Novak sweeps it up to Clifton. Wrister wide of the net. Far point, Solovyov pumps it towards the net. Couldn't find Novak. Penguins firing on all cylinders here in Colorado's zone. Lipton trying to keep it alive at the half wall, but Colorado works it out to the neutral zone. As Nicholas Waugh had some trouble getting it into the Penguins' end. It's taken away by Igor Chinikov. The Penguins will slow things down with under 15 to play here in Colorado. Penguins lead 6-2. Up to Connor Dewar through the neutral zone and fork it down to the Avs end near corner. Malinsky first there, pumps it along the far wall to Marty Natchez. Played ahead to Kennan, but it jumps off his stick in the neutral zone. Carlson tried to feed Soderblom. Puck bounces off the end boards right on net. That Blackwood fires over to the near corner. Soderblom got it down to Nolachari. As he muscles the puck free, gets it over to the far point for Parker Wotherspoon. Carlson, high slot. Rister blocked, goes over to the far corner. Achari collects. Tries to work around McKinnon, but gets stapled into the boards by 29 for Colorado. Pulled away by Soderblom, though. In behind the net, he lost it to McKinnon, who swept it right up to Wotherspoon. His dumping attempt taken away by Malinsky. As the Avs come over the Penguins line, it's Natchez near point, centering past McKinnon, near circle, drags towards the corner, flips it back up to Natchez. High slot. Rister blocked by Nolachari, and it caught him in the left hand. He's trying to shake away some of that sting, as now it's a chipping pass to Ville Koivunen, and he's in the Avs end, and a wrister gets blocked by Cale Makar, pops up out of play, and sends us to our first break of the third period. Penguins lead 6-2 over Colorado. 13:44 to go. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
The best teams, the biggest moments. It's the UEFA Champions League on Sirius XM FC. A masterclass in Madrid gave Real a 3-goal advantage.
Into Valverde for the hat-trick!
Can Man City turn the tide and pull off a historic upset?
Erling Haaland fires one into the left-hand corner!
Manchester City, Real Madrid, tomorrow at 4 Eastern on Sirius XM FC, channel 157 in the car and the Sirius XM app.
NHL Morning Skate.
What's the big difference been for the New York Islanders this season?
Matthew Schaefer. Here's Schaefer now passes Phil Housley for the most goals scored by an 18-year-old defenseman. The only other comparable I have right now, and I'm not saying he's going to have the Bobby Orr career, but he's got a great future ahead of him, is Bobby Orr to Matthew Schaefer.
NHL Morning Skate. Weekdays at 7 a.m. Eastern with Gord Stellick and Scott Laughlin. NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app. We deliver the NHL.
With Brandon Busty of the Carolina Hurricanes, did it ever cross your mind saying, like, hey, it's going to be a tough journey to the NHL? And, your mentality was, you know what, I'm just going to trust the process?
In hockey, opportunity comes in very different ways and at different times. My opportunity came now. The team in front of me has been unbelievable. They're the main reason for my success. It's fun to be a part of.
Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91.
Penguins still with a 4-goal lead, 6-2 over the Colorado Avalanche. 13:44 left here at Ball Arena in Denver. Alongside Michelle Crecchiolo, I'm Joe Brand. We'll get a face-off to the left of Mackenzie Blackwood. Ben Kindle to take the draw against Jack Drury.
Coming off a shift where there was a big block from Nolachari, playing with Connor Dewar and Elmer Soderblom, as Blake Lizotte was ruled out for this game due to injury, and tough not to have him in the lineup. He's just been a dog on a bone all year long, got the contract, just been so good. But they've been doing pretty well, at least tonight, without 46.
Chris Letang with a hard shoulder into Parker Kelly right in between the benches. Those two were going at it as Colorado tried to send it ahead into the Penguin zone. Penguins have it in their own end. Kindle on the near side, feeling some pressure right now from Kelly as Letang finally gets it away to Kindle, who will get it over to Shea. Now Letang over the Avs line, near side. Sends it wide of the net, over to the corner. Justin Brazeau pokes at it. It bounces along the end boards. Then he gets crunched into the wall by Brent Burns. Centering pass, looking for Raquel out of his reach. Goes all the way down to the Penguins' end. Under 13 to play here in Denver. Penguins lead by 4. Erik Karlsson takes his time, then slings a rink-wide pass looking for Raquel, his Swedish native, over to the near corner. Raquel below the goal line. Will take his time, pitch it up to Rust, who works it up to Karlsson, near point, hangs on, drags to the circle, hash marks, wrister, fought off by Blackwood. Rebound to the near corner. Karlsson spins it over to the far side. Brian Rust, centering pass, Rickard Raquel, stuffed out by Blackwood. Boy, Erik Karlsson wheeled it around the boards. At the far corner, Brian Rust placed his back on the screen, or rather on the glass, made a T motion, didn't know where the puck was. As it was sputtering in front of him, he flipped it towards the front of the net. Rickard Raquel was crashing towards the crease, but Mackenzie Blackwood was able to make the save.
And that shift all started with some wheels from Rickard Raquel, had his motor going, was flying down the opposite wing. Erik Karlsson recognized that, puts the puck into play, He gets behind the D, negates the icing, and they go from there. And then he's almost able to get that tip off, like you said, a great play from Brian Rust, who was able to recover that puck when he didn't know where it was.
Avs back in the Penguins zone on the stick of McKinnon, near circle, takes it to the half wall, up to the point. Makar along the blue line, fires it towards the net, blocked by Novak, swept over to the near side by Colorado. McKinnon will pitch it back up to Makar. Makar in the slot to the far circle. Curls around at the half wall, slings it over to Taves. Wrister coming. Blocked by traffic, angled over to the far point. Makar keeps it onside, tried to throw it towards the net. It caught Tommy Novak, who catches the long pass from Evgeny Malkin. Over the Avs line, tipped over to Chinakhov. Malkin will send it down to the far corner. Makar plays it off the boards, kicks it up along the wall to Nichushkin. Now Chinakhov steals it in the neutral zone, got it to Malkin. Rink-wide pass, no one was there. Fresh off the bench, Kelly will take it. They'll bring it up to the neutral zone over the Penguins line, far side. Over to Brindley, trailing into the Penguins zone, but he got shrugged off the puck by Clifton. Now to Manson, high slot. Wrister, it's blocked by Achari. Connor Clifton races down the puck, far side, brings it up towards center ice. Chips it into the Avs zone near side as Manson and Clifton got tangled up, and it looked like Manson threw a right-hand swing at Connor Clifton. As now the Avs go back into the Penguins zone. Connor Dewar collects it along the end boards, works it over to the far side. Achari trying to muscle it over the blue line. He gets it to Soderblom. He'll sweep it to Novak, Dewar over the Avs line. Curls around at the half wall. Got it to Achari. Soderblom, backhand shot. They score! Noel Achari with the last touch. He's now scored in back-to-back games, and the Penguins have put up 7 in Colorado.
And I think they might have a brief discussion about this to see if it was a kicking motion.
It went off his skate for sure.
I mean, it was a great turning pass, no-look backhand from Elmer Soderblom. Noel Achari was there at the back post. It does deflect in off of his skate. But I don't think there was a distinct kicking motion there, and it isn't, and we'll line up, and it's a good goal.
I don't either, Michelle. I'm actually pretty surprised that Colorado isn't challenging this here, though. They dropped the puck. It's 7-2 Penguins. The fans will tell you. Making their voices heard here at Ball Arena as the Avs fans start to exit. A 5-goal lead for the Penguins with 10.5 to play here in Denver. But just going back on that goal, Achari was crashing towards the net, and it was his left skate that was heading towards the crease.
There wasn't enough there to initiate that challenge.
So the Penguins now, with just the clock being their best friend, as a wrister from Cal Makar doesn't get through traffic. Avs sweep it deep to the near corner for Kadri, below the goal line, up to Devontae's at the point. High slot Makar. He'll dance to the far circle. Drags, wrists one, fought off by Shelovs. Long rebound out to the neutral zone. Taves will race it down. 7-2, the Penguins lead here in Colorado.
And Evgeny Malkin called that goal. He told me after the last game, he said, Cookie's going to score another one next game. We just talked about it in the TV timeout. And there he goes, number 55, with a huge goal to make it 7-2.
9:20 to go in this one as Ricard Raquel works it along the near side. Sandwiched around Drury and Taves. But again, the Avalanche outscoring their opponents in the third period this year by 35 goals, but make it 34 as Malkin and Drury going after it. And now Connor Clifton will get in the mix as Parker Kelly and Malkin, but now it's Drury and Connor Clifton with the mitts off. Right in between the rings of the Colorado zone. Clifton doing a couple of head fakes at Drury. Now he goes in on him. Gets a couple of undercuts. A one right-hand swing, a second one. Drury coming in with a right hand. They're both tied up in front of the Colorado net. And now the officials will get in the middle as Clifton will get a couple more rights in. A big right-hand swing as Drury goes down.
Yes, Connor Clifton. He didn't like Drury exchanging those shoves with Evgeny Malkin. He challenges him. He has his teammates back. That's the sign of a team that has good chemistry. You love to see it.
Well, as that fight was happening, Evgeny Malkin and Parker Kelly were still tied up. And it dragged them all the way to the front of the Penguins penalty box. The official just ushered Malkin right into the box. Again, as that fight was going on.
And those...
Yeah, we're going to go to a break. Penguins with a 7-2 lead with 9 minutes to go here in Colorado. You're listening to the Penguins Radio Network presented by S&T Bank.
NHL fans, give yourself some great looks this season and get Pittsburgh Penguins tickets at Ticketmaster. As the official ticket marketplace of the Penguins and the NHL, Ticketmaster has a wide selection of tickets available for every game, so you can catch all the action live all season long. If your plans change, you can sell or transfer your tickets, and mobile tickets make it easy to get into the arena in time for puck drop. With Ticketmaster, you'll ensure that when they shoot, you'll score. Get tickets today at Ticketmaster.com/Penguins.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
The biggest plays on the ice.
He's up ahead, Pacioretty to the net. Backhand score. What a move!
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
As the largest and most experienced program in the region, UPMC Sports Medicine knows that injuries can happen to anyone, whether you're a weekend athlete, a rising star, or even a seasoned pro. That's why we offer a complete range of services and experts to help treat and prevent sports-related injuries to get you back in the game. To make an appointment, visit upmcsportsmedicine.com. The UPMC is the official healthcare provider.
Our Penguins have scored a lot of big goals.
To make an appointment, visit upmcsportsmedicine.com. The UPMC is the official healthcare provider of the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Hey, Pittsburgh fans, this is Paul Steigerwald. In hockey, big goals cause big momentum shifts. As we all know, our Penguins have scored a lot of big goals over the years. As a founding partner of the Penguins, PPG also likes big goals and is pursuing them off the ice to better the Pittsburgh community and the world. They develop solutions that preserve natural. As a founding partner of the Penguins, PPG also likes big goals and is pursuing them off the ice to better the Pittsburgh community and the world. They develop solutions that preserve natural resources with the goal to protect and beautify our world. PPG Paints Arena is proud to be the first LEED Gold certified NHL arena. We like big goals because when we score them, we all win. Penguins hockey is brought to you in part by Kent State University, transforming dreams into achievements.
Well, as Evgeny Malkin and Parker Kelly are serving 2 minutes each for roughing. Meanwhile, Connor Clifton and Jack Drury are serving 5 minutes each for fighting. The Penguins grabbed the lead on Evgeny Malkin's goal early in this game, back in the first period, in the first 7 minutes. Or excuse me, in the first 3 minutes. And even though Nathan McKinnon was able to tie things up at 1, the Penguins scored 15 seconds later, and they never looked back from there. It's now 7-2 Pens with 8 minutes to go in regulation. Josh Manson cruises into the Penguins zone, slings a shot that goes off the end boards, fluttered in front of the net. That Chris Letang works over to the far side. Well, Michelle, with the Penguins up this late and up this big, it's time to once again welcome everybody tuned in to
get his stick on it. He did everything he could to try and put the brakes on, so it's more of a deflection.
Tie things up at 1. The Penguins scored 15 seconds later, and they never looked back from there. It's now 7-2 Pens with 8 minutes to go in regulation. Josh Manson cruises into the Penguins zone, slings a shot that goes off the end boards. Fluttered in front of the net. That Chris Letang works over to the far side. Well, Michelle, with the Penguins up this late and up this big, it's time to once again welcome everybody tuned in to
He couldn't get his stick on it. He did everything he could to try and put the brakes on, so it's more of a deflection play, but I think he came through and just tapped that in. The officials are looking at it right now. We got the replay, Connor. Tell me what you think.
I mean, it's right in between a redirect. This is what I don't like, is that such gray area in the National Hockey League. They're going to let it stand, by the way. But either say you can put it in off a skate or you
Josh Manson cruises into the Penguins zone, slings a shot that goes off the end boards. Fluttered in front of the net. That Chris Letang works over to the far side. Well, Michelle, with the Penguins up this late and up this big, it's time to once again welcome everybody tuned in to things up at 1. The Penguins scored 15 seconds later, and they never looked back from there. It's now 7-2 Pens with 8 minutes to go in regulation. Josh Manson cruises into the Penguins zone, slings a shot that goes off the end boards. Fluttered in front of the net. That Chris Letang works over to the far side. Well, Michelle, with the Penguins up this late and up this big, it's time to once again welcome everybody tuned in to our Night Owl Club. The Penguins scored 15 seconds later, and they never looked back from there. It's now 7-2 Pens with 8 minutes to go in regulation. Josh Manson cruises into the Penguins zone, slings a shot that goes off the end boards. Fluttered in front of the net. That Chris Letang works over to the far side. Well, Michelle, with the Penguins up this late and up this big, it's time to once again welcome everybody tuned in to our Night Owl Club.
Mad Dog Sports Radio, Sirius XM 86, and the SXM app.
New York Rangers.
He did everything he could to try and put the brakes on.
Josh Manson cruises into the Penguins zone, slings a shot that goes off the end boards. Fluttered in front of the net. That Chris Letang works over to the far side. Well, Michelle, with the Penguins up this late and up this big, it's time to once again welcome everybody tuned in to our Night Owl Club.
Mad Dog Sports Radio, Sirius XM 86, and the SXM app.
New York Rangers ever they score on the Big Mac Attack. Just download your McDonald's app, claim your free Big Mac with a purchase of just $1 or more. Along with Michelle Crecchiolo, I'm Joe Brand. We're here at Ball Arena, and we're going to face off to the left of Artur Shilovs, who has stopped 25 Colorado shots tonight.
Looks like Connor Dewar out to take this draw.
Again, the Penguins without Blake Lizotte tonight. They did get Justin Brazeau back. We've also got the return of Evgeny Malkin, who has 3 points tonight with 2 goals and an assist. But still waiting for their captain, Sidney Crosby, who skated during morning skate to not take line rushes with any starting line tonight. Raquel leaves it for Russ, trying to get it back over. 4:20 to go here in Colorado. Mantha trying to send a centering pass. Achari fires one on net. Kicked out of there by Blackwood. It looks like the Penguins are trying to set up Chris Letang so that he can pick up his 800th career point. Letang was parked in front of the net as Mantha went in behind, trying to go for a centering pass. Never could get him there, though. Taves over the Penguins line in the slot. Kicked away by the Penguins as Erik Karlsson will clear it down into the Av zone. And that will be icing on the Penguins with 3:48 to go.
Well, Joe, when America needs a power play, EQT delivers anything. And they're giving some stick taps on both benches for the release of Jack Drury and Evgeny Malkin. And, you know, Evgeny Malkin's favorite burger is a Big Mac. We're on the attack. 3:48 to go. If we see another one from Gino, I don't think we'll be surprised at all.
Why not to conclude the hat trick? Meanwhile, did some research on the Connor Clifton-Jason Spezza fight.
Do tell.
Connor Clifton won that fight via hockeyfights.com. 57 to 12%, 31% went to a draw. But yeah, there was a little chaos at the net, and with Connor Clifton just standing there at the near side, Spetz, oh wow, first Spetz gave him a whack down to the pads with his stick and then shoved his right hand into him. So it looked like Spetz, is that what you said? Spetz was looking for the fight?
He was looking for it.
And then Clifton didn't want to take anything more, so he just started throwing a couple of haymakers and then took him down.
That's incredible. And it was definitely a topic of conversation in the war room when they signed Connor Clifton, or acquired Connor Clifton this summer from Buffalo. Definitely had some laughs about it from both Jason Spezza and Connor Clifton.
Under 3 to play here in Colorado. Penguins with a 7-2 lead over the best team in the NHL. They're looking to hand the Avs their 3rd loss in their last 4 games. Colorado 23-5-4 in this building coming into this one. And the Penguins never trailed. They allowed Colorado to tie things up. A little over a minute after they grabbed the first. Snuck it past Scott Wedgwood, gave the Penguins a 2-1 lead, and they never looked back from there. 2:15 to go as Ville Koivunen chips it down to the Colorado zone. Pulled up by Bardakov. As these two teams are going to meet up later this month in Pittsburgh. Keep in mind, Colorado missing some important pieces right now. No Ross Colton. They don't have their captain, Gabriel Landeskog. Missing Arturi Lankinen and Logan O'Connor. So as much as the Penguins are missing Sidney Crosby right now, those are some big pieces for the Colorado Avalanche tonight. But still, can't take anything away from the Penguins' effort in this entire game. 1:40 to go as Blackwood freezes it. 7-2, the Penguins lead.
I mean, they have just gone out and executed exactly the game they want to play. And that's not easy to do against a team like this. I feel like we can't state it enough that the Colorado Avalanche are league leaders in pretty much every category, and they have been just so difficult to play against. They have Cal McCarr on the back end. They have Nathan McKinnon up top, and I mean, go down the list. And this Penguins team has they have been dominant against these guys. It's so impressive.
You can imagine how eager Colorado is probably already to play the Penguins a week from tomorrow.
They circled it on the calendar in the intermission.
Yeah. And the Penguins again will wrap up this road trip Wednesday in Carolina. But after tonight, it's a winning road trip right now. Final 65 seconds here in Denver. As Rickard Rakell works it down to the Av zone. And again, the Penguins fans start to rise to their feet here at Ball Arena. Well represented in Utah, now well represented here in Colorado. Igor Chinikov in the Colorado zone looking for Malkin. He'll fire it on net. Fought off by Blackwood. Novak centering pass. Shot fired. Fought off. That was Letang again with a one-timer. 30 seconds to go. Nate just pulls it away. Sends it rink wide. Nichushkin over the Penguins line. Far circle. Curls around at the half wall. With an near point, Natchez in the slot. Downstairs to the corner. Ryan Shea below the goal line. Chips it up and out to the neutral zone. Puck tumbles down to Colorado's end with 10 seconds left. Brent Burns with the puck. And that's going to do it here at Ball Arena. The Pittsburgh Penguins put up 7 against the best team in the NHL and grab a win here in Denver. 7-2 the final. And a stellar job by the Penguins goaltender as well, Artur Shilovs, with 25 saves tonight. And the Penguins pick up their 34th win of the year and now stand all alone in second place in the Metropolitan Division with 83 points after a very impressive win against the Colorado Avalanche.
Biggest win of the year.
Yep.
I feel like I can be hesitant to say that because sometimes it's so easy to say, oh, biggest win, and it's just like, but this, the way the standings are, the Penguins need every single point they can get. They're missing their captain. They're going against a very worthy opponent. There's just so many factors going into this, and the Penguins come out and just play one of their best game of the season to get their biggest win of the season. It's just remarkable what this Penguins team has done. Another great chapter in their incredible story that they've been writing all season long.
Well, Paul Steigerwald and Brian Metzer will start up the conversation for the best win of the year for the Pittsburgh Penguins. 7-2 over the Colorado Avalanche here in Denver. We'll take a break as Staggy and Metz start the post-game show before Amish and I will wrap up a few more things here from Ball Arena. It's all here on the Penguins Radio Network, presented by S&T Bank.
This is Labatt, brewed for the hockey fans who yell, shoot it from the cheap seats, and scream, ref, you suck, like it ever worked. You pound on the glass, spill your beer, and still act like you're running the power play. But hockey wouldn't be hockey without fans like you and a Labatt in hand. Labatt, we're brewed for the roast. Enjoy responsibly. Labatt USA, Buffalo, New York.
Knox on 8 has 325 Labatt Blue or Blue Light bottles during all Penguins games.
Hey, hockey fans, the ice is heating up and the savings are too at Spitzer Auto World. Shop thousands of new vehicles at the Panda price. And here's the hat trick. Get a lifetime warranty at no charge. Wag more, spend less at Spitzer Auto World.
Our world revolves around you.
This Pittsburgh Penguins moment is brought to you by the officers, members, and families of Local Union Number 5 of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. Our members have lived and worked in the region since 1897, providing all of the electrical and telecommunications needs of commercial, industrial, and residential customers. We offer a state-of-the-art training center that is second to none and internationally recognized. Local Union Number 5 of the IBW will be here to stand by you for all of your electrical installation needs today and well into the future. Our members show their hometown pride supporting the Pittsburgh Penguins.
At UPMC Hillman Cancer Center, we believe cancer care shouldn't just be good enough. It should be life-changing. As the region's only National Cancer Institute designated comprehensive cancer center, we provide groundbreaking treatments and innovative clinical trials with renowned cancer specialists and a compassionate support system for patients and their families. Discover more at upmchillman.com/lifechanger.
Stay warm this winter with Glassmere Fuel Service, your MVP for heating oil and propane in Pittsburgh. Call 800-235-9054 or visit glassmere.com. Glassmere Fuel Service, keeping your home warm at a competitive price, season after season.
No matter the occasion, there's always a reason to celebrate with a DQ ice cream cake. Creamy DQ soft serve and the chocolatey crunch center is great at any get-together. Customize yours today at DQ.com. DQ is the official ice cream and ice cream cake of the Penguins.
This is Phil Bork, the old 2-9er. Smith's is the official hot dog of the Pittsburgh Penguins and PPG Paints Arena, with recipes over 85 years old. Ask for Smith's hot dog by name at Giant Eagle and other fine retailers. Smith's, it's a hot dog night in Pittsburgh. SmithsHotDogs.com.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Well, when you go into a game against the Colorado Avalanche, you're thinking, well, I hope they don't score 7 goals on us. You know what, though? The Penguins have a knack when they play in that building of scoring a lot of goals, and Metz and I were exchanging some thoughts earlier in the evening about how the time the Penguins had a big lead a couple of years ago and let it slip away and lost a game in overtime, 5-4 to the Avs. But this is a much different team. That was then, Metz, and this is now.
Jesse Puljujärvi scored the first goal of that game to give you a little idea what the roster looked like on that night. And tonight, I know the captain, Sidney Crosby, was absent, but Evgeny Malkin was like a caged beast being released from that cage. He took a bad penalty to start the game, but he redeemed himself with 2 big